Ladies, if you misbehave, you got to come to the timeout room and you're going to get paddled. My beautiful African queens, my butter almond and butter pecan, my caramel, my guave, my chocolate fudge, my African buttercream, my pina colada, my caramel, my cinnamon, my nutmeg queens. If you misbehave, you got to come and get 3 strokes. Oh, yes, with the RBG paddle.
All right, thank you guys so much for your patience. We got a bit to get into. I want to thank you so much for tuning on in. Cookers That's Undefeated. This is y'all's principle.
The y'all's principle.
That's right.
Every time I turn around, there's another paint day going down. Another speech, another grand plan, another promise that began. Talking real big, talking real tall, got an answer for it all. Everybody looking to see how this story ends, wondering if the school ever opening. One day it's this, next day it's that. Everybody laughing in the Cookie Crush chat. Is this the man that claims to be the boss? Every conversation turns into a cookie-free call. Ooh, the mold keeps growing. Ooh, the grass need mowing. Ooh, FDMG keeps rolling on. The Charles Principal. The Charles Principal. The one who's paddling your mom. That Charles Principal. Every week another big reveal. Every donation is money he steals. Oh, that Charles Principal. Everybody singing while the groove rolls on, trying to figure out what's going on. Always an excuse for the school's delay, a different explanation every single day. A cell phone and a park is all he needs when he should be applying for jobs on Indeed. The chat starts booming, the memes start flying. He starts screaming and you know he's lying. Scrubbing toilets, painting mold. Every year this story's getting old. Losing donors day by day. All donations increase his pay. Ooh, the mold keeps growing. Ooh, the grass need mowing. Ooh, FDMG keeps rolling on. That's y'all's principal. The one who's paddling your mom. That's y'all's principal. Every week another big reveal. Every donation is money he steals. Oh, that's y'all's principal. Everybody singing while the groove rolls on, trying to figure out what's going on. Now somebody asks one question and somehow gets a 30-minute lesson. Somebody tell me, is this your guy? 14 years and running with this lie. Cookie Crush chat, break it down. Is that him? Is that him? That's him. Is that another live stream? That's him. That's him. Is that another speech? That's him. That's him. Is that another explanation? That's him. Well, all right then, Charles Principal. The one everybody knows by name. That Charles Principal. He keeps rolling on, and somehow the life's still holding strong. That Charles Principal. Smooth, everybody laughing and feeling the groove. That Charles Principal. That Charles Principal.
All right, welcome everyone. Thank you so much. What's up, Dr. Sabi? Salute, sir. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to God's Little Princess. I appreciate your presence. You do a fantastic job with the mod word. Yeah, and shout out to Black Morrow. He put that track together. Someone suggested that I put all of the songs on to like a playlist and just upload them as standalones. I think that's a good idea. Let me know what y'all think, because I can put the other one that Black Mario did. I can put up random donations just with me from years ago playing the keyboard, singing, and then there's other stuff too, because that could turn into a whole nother project. But let me know what y'all think on that. It was someone that suggested it. Great idea, in my opinion. Okay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your patience. I just didn't get back in until like maybe, I don't know. I'm not to give excuses. Maybe about 40 minutes ago, and I had to take a shower. And I didn't iron the shirt. I sprayed that stuff on it. I'm just gonna get a gang of that because it saved time. Okay. I see some yeses in here. So yeah, I think it's a good idea. I'll put together a playlist. I'll upload them as individual tracks, and they'll be up on this. You guys want to listen to them, you can. CJ says, checking in from my flight to Portugal. Okay, all right. CJ be traveling. Good chat vibes at 37,000 feet. You know that's awesome. You know that's awesome. People watching this live on airplanes. Okay, we're getting there. Thank you, CJ, for the super chat. Safe travels too. Okay, and enjoy your trip. Everyone else too. Thank you guys so much. We will be doing some. I'm going to be live streaming tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow actually, so I may even get on here just during the day to do some other stuff. Don't quote me on that because I always say that. But we will live stream on Umar tomorrow, and then we have marathons. We're going to do marathon Saturday, Sunday. Instead of doing like one real long one, we'll do two shorter ones. So we'll do one on Saturday, one on Sunday. One of those marathons, I've already decided. We're gonna cover the Umar Johnson, Tariq Nasheed beef, and I'm gonna go back and I'll go through the SETI rant and beep out stuff, and then I'll go through the well, no, that's separate, isn't it? I got to do it anyway. Okay, so let me just say it this way. Scratch that. I'm going to go through because I want to edit out. I want to do the SETI rant as a standalone at some point, but I'm going to go through and edit out all the cursing that he does so it doesn't get demonetized. It doesn't get taken down. And then I'm going to go through the Tariq Nasheed roast of Umar, which is a classic, and I'll beep out all of that because people have been asking for us to get to that one at some point. And then I'll also have Umar's going back, those two. So that's going to be something we'll cover during one of these marathons this weekend. So I will be live streaming though tomorrow. Thank you guys again for all of your support, especially to all the mods. Also, thanks to everyone who's been supportive just with your attendance and then also with the super chats. Thank you, CJ. Please enjoy your trip. Okay. And then TJ says, what's good? Black Morrow is the Teddy Riley of Cookie Crush chat. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. Kogo does some fantastic stuff, but unfortunately, we can't really use that. Let me stop. And he does some fantastic stuff too. Okay, so let's get going here. Yeah, it was that beef was funny, and I'll explain when we get into it. I'll explain how that all got started because a lot of people don't know like the backstory. It goes back to Hidden Colors 1 and Umar wanting more money and Umar just being greedy and taking shots at Tariq Nasheed for years, really. And then finally, Tariq let loose, and it was a mess. Okay, but we're going to get into that over the weekend for one of the marathons. Okay, I want to do this because we were talking about Umar and some of the comments that he makes when he's talking about children, sometimes when he's talking about women. They're problematic for different reasons. And I have 4 videos I want to pull up. This will probably take maybe 15 minutes or less. And I want to give you guys some examples. I believe that Umar is a sadist. I think he likes to inflict pain and he likes to and I'm talking about physical pain too. So please, I'm just going to say it like it is. But he also likes to torture people psychologically. Okay. I want to give you guys some examples of Umar making certain statements that are thoroughly inappropriate and leads me to conclude that he's a sadist. And I was talking about this and I couldn't find the video, but I found it. So let's go back. We'll go in order. We're going to go to 2019. Okay. December 31st, 2019. This was in the first documentary. Let's take a listen.
You can sign your own emancipation proclamation.
What's up, Brandon? Thank you for tuning in.
Light skin, we got light skin.
Yeah, here he go with the colorism.
We got French vanilla, we got lemonade, we got pina colada, we got butter almond, butter pecan, caramel, sweet brown sugar. It ain't nothing like some full-figured fudge.
Okay, what in the world are you doing, homeboy? Cut it out.
Rule number one, don't let them kids get tested 4th grade or younger. Why do you say
Yeah, Domo, is this the video where she says that? That was a crazy. He said, I think that was this video. She mine. Yeah,
that, Dr.
crazy.
Johnson? Because every special ed diagnosis is a professional opinion. Let me say
Oh
it
my
again, 'cause
God,
I'm the
cut it
first
out.
psychologist in history to tell you that. I'm gonna say it again. Every special ed classification is a professional opinion. Wait, what do you mean? My son has a reading disability. My grandson is emotionally.
By the way, there is a poll too. Are you surprised that Umar Johnson has had the FDMG Bandos for over 7 years and no child has been educated? 12% said yes, 88% said no. Well, that's incredible. Yeah.
Disturbed. My nephew is intellectually disabled. My daughter has a math disability, Dr. Johnson. I don't understand. Well, when you sit down with the school psychologist next time, just ask them, how did you determine that your grandson was reading disabled? See, when I bring your son or daughter into my office for testing,
Umar doesn't have an office. This is in 2019. By this time, he's homeless. He's living in and out of hotel motel rooms. Boy, he be lying.
there's no x-ray, there's no CAT scan, there's no MRI, there's no urine sample.
What's up, Black Anonymous? Full figure fudge might be a self-description. Uncle Nancy. All right, shout out to Black Anonymous.
There's
Here we
no
go.
blood screening. I give him an IQ test. I give him an achievement test. I give him a visual motor assessment. I give him an adaptive.
Yeah, see, he used to do this type of work back in 2000, 2001, 2002, 3, 4, and 5 in the Philadelphia school system, public school system. But and then after that, and that was consistent work for him at that time. But then he goes into the charter school system from 2006 to 2010, and it was intermittent. So this video is from 2019. He gave up his career as a school psychologist back in 2010. So he's still talking as if, and he still does this these days. He's talking as if he's still a school psychologist. He's not.
Behavior assessment. I give him some sort of an emotional scale, a psychological measure. I interview the teacher. I interview the parents. I observe them in the class. I review the record, and then I put all this together like a magic trick.
This guy, the shenanigans with, look at him. Interesting enough, when he gives talks now, he's not this animated because he's deteriorated. He's already batshit crazy in 2019. Trust me, but you don't see him doing all this these days because he's much older. It's like 7 years later.
And based upon what I think and what you told me and the scores on them tests, white psychologists in Detroit determined whether or not your child is learning disabled or not. It is no proof to it. If you go looking for a diagnosis, you're going to find one. So you take little Raheem to the white psychologist in Detroit, he's going to say learning disability. You take him to the Negro psychologist in Detroit, they're going to say ADHD. You bring him to Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson is going to say it ain't learning, it's laziness. And the ADHD is not an attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. His ADHD is ain't no daddy at home disorder. And if the daddy at home is ain't no discipline at home disorder. And if the daddy giving him discipline, then it's an artificial diet at home disorder. Too much caffeine, table sugar, and high fructose corn syrup. And if you say the daddy there and we got discipline and we vegan, then I'm going to say there's one more. Attachment disruption due to home life dysfunction. In other words, there's too much abuse, domestic violence, arguing, and...
He just making up anything. I think I have the wrong timestamp. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, I got it for 20. I don't know why it's not coming up.
Absenteeism in that damn home for that child. And that's why he come to school not paying attention. Yeah. There's no neurological problem with his body. Just in here with a Pruby roll. Let's go. Kids, and we won't have this problem. 90% of all teachers in America are white. Most kids in special ed are your child in special ed for reading problems. sexual implication and can only read on the 2nd grade level. 3rd grade, this ain't a learning disability. This is an educational disability. And then they telling y'all, well, we need more money at interest.
Yes, sir.
You damn coons! You damn coons! You don't go to no school with no damn SpongeBob on! You damn coons!
Umar is so stupid. He's such a character.
Listen. 3 reasons why you don't wear pajamas to school, black mother.
Let me skip this.
Let's take somebody with you. Ray Ray, Little Day, Big Tom, and Little Shug.
We're so stupid. What's up, Mercantile? What in the world? I don't remember this part. I don't remember this part at all. What's he talking about? Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I did not mean to do this.
Oh, hell no. Come with wife beaters, pants sagging, smell like marijuana and Egyptian musk.
What?
And I just want y'all to stand there like this the whole meeting. Stare at the white folks. Don't look, stare at them.
What in the world? What in the world? Boy, Umar, he's a character.
And then if you hear the white folks start to gang up on me and try to make me sign my kid life away in special ed or try to force me to put my son on some drugs, I want you to say, hey, bro, I got to go see my probation officer today. How much would have meant the white folks stop that special ed? They going to say, oh, Miss Shaquita, we so sorry, it's the wrong child.
He's so stupid.
Nice meeting you, big liaison meeting. Frankincense burning meeting. See, once we get some black, and you're gonna fax or email. I said the verbal aspect of intelligence. Plain only 5 black all the jobs to the white folks. That's the law. White folks do it. We sure you're damn right. I'm sure. Come on. A place that we can use. The school is breaking the law. Let me say it one more time. I might be the worst kid in the doctorate and visit the bowl with Shanti. And then at nighttime, I love you. Tell me my daughter can't wear what she want to wear because damn, it could be a new edition shag. Vendors outside and find. I want every brother to make. Email your resume, 90% raw and vegan. Talk to me, Baba. What we got? 5 minutes. My sister, she's in charge of the youth program. Brothers and sisters. Okay. Rainy merchandise, my new. I ever going to, he said, without confidence.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was just one part I was looking for, but I can't find it. Man, it'd be worth watching this because he was really going crazy in this one. Okay, anyway, this is the video where he says he's going to pound the boy's chest in after school. But let's move forward. This is the video that the next video is the one I want to show you guys yesterday. Here we go.
Everything you need to know, A to Z. Now, you might want to get a babysitter for the young ones because they're not going to be able to sit still for 12 hours long, sister.
No, I'm not going to bring no kids. No, none of my kids.
Yeah, come solo, baby. Come solo.
I wanted to ask a question because I heard the young lady talking about that her daughter had an IEP. My son, he's 6 years old.
Yeah.
He just recently got an IEP.
What grade is he in?
He's in 1st grade.
And he got the IEP this year in 1st grade? Can I pull your fingernails out for signing permission to get my little brother tested, Sister Chrissy?
Look at her face. He's a sadist. Who thinks like that? This is supposed to be a black parent teleconference.
Can I pull your fingernails?
Look at her face. Who talks like that?
Permission to get my little brother tested, Sister Chrissy. Can I pull your?
Yeah. He just recently got an IEP.
What grade is he in?
He's in 1st grade.
And he got the IEP this year in 1st grade? Can I pull your fingernails out for signing permission to get my little brother tested, Sister Chrissy? Can I pull your fingernails out?
It's nuts. And he said this to another woman too. I can't find that. I haven't found that video. Well, I have it, but I didn't archive it a long time ago. So that's from 2020. And then this is another video from 2023 where he's talking about paddling the women.
We bring in the Grand Master Teachers for Kwanzaa week. We're going to have wall-to-wall food. I want a Caribbean buffet. I want an African buffet. I want American African buffet. I want Latino African buffet. We're going to have food from across the Pan-African world. We're going to have a Pan-African buffet at the grand opening. Who ready for that? If you cater food, you need to be texting me your number. If you cater food, you need to be texting me your number. If you cater food, we need Latino African cuisine. We need continental African cuisine. We need Caribbean African cuisine. We need American African cuisine. We need Central and South American African cuisine. My principal's office. If you want to, who want to meet with the principal? If you need a one-on-one with the principal, it can only be 15 minutes because there's going to be too many people trying to have a one-on-one. 15 minutes in the principal's office with the red, black, and green paddle. 15 minutes, my queens, in the principal's office with the red, black, and green paddle. I said 15 minutes only in the principal's office. If you misbehave at my festival, if you misbehave at the FDMG grand opening, you will be sent to the principal's office, ladies. If you misbehave at the FDMG grand opening, you will be sent to the principal's office and you will be given 3 swats with the paddle. 3 strokes. 3 strokes with the paddle. Do not misbehave, ladies, because I don't want you to have to come to the principal's office. I don't want to have to paddle none of my queens for misbehaving.
I mean, who talks like that? I mean, this is supposed to be a school for black boys, but
I don't want to have to paddle none of my queens for misbehaving at the grand opening. I don't want to have to paddle.
Yeah, Coco. He says strokes. That's what he says. So you know what time it is. Yeah. You know what time it is.
None of my queens for misbehaving. I'm serious. We're going to have the vendors. We're going to have the buffet. There will be a charge. There will be a charge for the grand opening. There will be a charge.
You're going to charge people for the grand opening?
And if you are not a donor, you cannot come.
Man, this is crazy. This guy. Okay, so that's another example, but I think I found the part. Here it is.
Boy being raised by a single mother back home to a single life. If she could do something about it, it would have been done. It's my job as a black man to deal with him. And because we are an independent
He doesn't even take care of his own children.
school, I don't have to follow the rules of Detroit Public. See, I'm going to let your son know from the gate. You see all the brothers in here? You get out of line, my brother. Your mom coming here one time saying you was popping off at the mouth. We got a black room in the back. You understand? See, we ain't gonna have no discipline problems. Cause we gonna pound your damn chest in, little boy. Try me.
See this? So pull fingernails out, pound the little boy's chest in, and go to the school, paddling the women. And then, of course, the new one is this one right here. Is diabolical.
Okay.
But they will work together in everything else.
Okay. So no.
I'm going to tell you a big problem monogamy creates for professional, successful black men. You know what it is? I might be in love with you, but I'm like, damn, she nice too. So when y'all say you got to dwindle it down to 1, you know what ends up happening? Time starts getting wasted. Because we cannot decide just one. When a man got 2 women who've been rocking with him and holding him down, and both of them expecting to cut the other one off, you know what he gonna do? He not gonna choose. Keep them both. Neither one of y'all get married. That's the problem in the black community. Whereas if y'all said you can choose 2, that's better now. I got you, and you help me choose the other one.
So with your 2 women, is it just they just focus on you? Are you letting them scissor and bump coochie up? get involved in what's
no
going on?
coochie bumping. This is no carpet munching, right?
Okay.
They are my wives.
Okay.
But they will work together in everything else.
Okay. So no extraness. I just want to know, because a lot of times that does happen.
I know.
That does
and
happen.
A lot of times the men want it to happen. You follow what I'm saying?
A lot of men want to, and a lot of men don't want it. And a lot of women sneak and do it.
That's true.
A lot of women sneak and do it because they're being themselves and everybody being honest.
Yes. If I catch my wives in bed together, I'm going to get a hot bucket of bleach and throw that shit on both of them.
Want to know who goes?
All right. He's a sadist. And these are just some examples. Just some. It's incredible. And people think that somehow he's going to open up a school for black boys. At one point, it was for black girls too. But truth be told, he ain't got no business being around children in the first place. Look at what he's talking about, how he's talking, and he's a sadist. Okay, let's get to the topic and our focus. And this was a couple of days ago. We started talking about. And we actually really don't have much more to get into on this, but we were talking about the mode situation up there at these trap bandos in Wilmington, Delaware. And so we're going to pick up in 2022. We got a video from there. We got 2 videos from 2023. I think there's more than 2 for 2023. And then one video or a couple of videos from 2025. I don't think we have anything for 2026. Anyway, here's the thumbnail for part 1, and this right here, what we see in the middle picture, that's called white powder mode. And it's if you look at the picture to the left of it and to the right of it, this is the small gym, and if you look on the floor, you'll see an infestation of this white powder mode. And it just goes to show you that these particular buildings, they're in really, really bad shape. Okay, they're toxic. FDMG itself is toxic. These buildings are toxic. And Umar, he's had people walk through there. He's had women walk through there. He's had children walk through there. And in the video that we showed 2 days ago, he's actually having a difficult time breathing when he was in this gym with this infestation of white powder mold. So we're going to pick up with that for today. So before we do that, let me get caught up in the super chat. There's also a poll question too. Make sure you get your vote in. Get your vote in on that poll when you get a moment. Are you surprised that Umar Johnson had the FDMG Bandos has had the FDMG Bandos for over 7 years and no child has been educated? 12% said yes and 88% said no. Okay, and our goal for likes today is 200 because I don't think we're going to be here all that long. Okay, now let me do these super chats real quick. Says Umar is basically describing himself. Yeah, he projects a lot. Matter of fact, I found some videos that I haven't gone over that are really good. And in one of those videos, Umar, he's talking about like family dynamics, and based upon what I know about him now, he's just projecting. He does that a lot. He describes himself. In fact, there's times where he describes the different types of black men. I can't remember each one. I think there were 6 different types. One was the professional. This is the one who misrepresents himself. He misrepresents himself. He pretends that he has all of these certifications or degrees and he's accomplished and he's doing all of these things, but he's really not. Umar describes that, but he's describing himself. The other one is another one is a couch potato. The couch potato is the one that is dependent on his mom. You know, he likes to sit around, watch TV. He's unmotivated. That's Umar. Another one is the impregnator. That's the black man who impregnates these women and no commitment, doesn't take care of the kids. Well, that's Umar. I think there were 6 total, but I found another video where he breaks that down. They might be good to get into those for the marathon too. Okay, I'll figure all that out by tomorrow. Okay, but anyway, he does that a lot. He projects. He describes himself. Thanks, TJ. Slim Shahid says black folks sure do love that preacher archetype. Umar plays it to a T. Yeah, he does. And then what's interesting is that he'll shame the black church, but his presentation style is like that of a Baptist preacher, except he's more animated and then he's always talking about cookies and stuff and crushing cookies. But yeah, his approach has been that way, and he knows that. That's what I was saying. It's interesting because if you go back and look at Umar from 2019 and when he was giving speeches, you look at him now, he's unable to present that same level of energy, but that's because he's gotten older, you know. But the idea of using his oratory skills to manipulate people. That's something that he's been doing for a very long time. Right? And then he chastises the black church at every single turn, and black preachers and everything else. I actually think that Umar wishes that he was a preacher of his own church. It's just that he doesn't have organization skills. So the way I look at it is that Umar, the idea of a school, that becomes like his church. Okay, that gets into the cult dynamic, and he's all in control of everyone else's kids. If they act up, he's this corporal punishment. He's gonna pound their damn chests in. But he's used his oratory to manipulate people for decades now. Okay, it's not quite what it used to be, but it's still effective enough for people to at least some people to believe in this foolishness. Thanks, Slim Shaid. User 225 says how he pulling other nails when. God. You ain't gonna let that go, are you? You ain't gonna let that go. Thank you, user 225. Black Morrow says, what constitutes misbehavior? That's a good question. In the context of Umar, he doesn't explain what that means exactly. And that could mean anything to Umar. Remember how he was talking about his daughter and how she didn't have her homework done? You can tell he don't know how to deal with kids. So he may see a child do something that he may just be in a bad mood, and it's automatic bad mood that day, and then all because he has difficulty regulating his emotions. He could be in a bad mood. A child at his school, hypothetically, does something, and then he's ready to jump out the window. Oh, they're misbehaving, blah blah. No, the child's just being a child. So yeah, what constitutes misbehavior exactly? And in what world? See, check this. In what world would a son pop up off the mount with the mama, which happens? But then somehow the discipline for that action at home with the mother, the discipline is carried out at the school. Think about that for a moment. See, that's the cult. That's not Umar's son. That's not his wife. It's just a woman who, again, hypothetically, enrolled her child into FDMG, and at home the child's acting up for whatever reason, and somehow Umar finds out, and then they're gonna handle the child and take him to the black room in the back and pound the child's chest in. He's a sadist, but it goes to show you the levels of control. He's a megalomania. He's a megalomaniac, right? And he sees other people's children as belonging to him. Okay, but there should be a line of demarcation between home life and school life. But Umar doesn't look at it that way because it's all encompassing. It's about control. Thanks, Black Mario. Godzilla Princeton says he's so nasty. 3 strokes with the paddle, huh? What a shame. Yeah, and he says 3 strokes. He doesn't say 3. I don't know what you would call it with the paddle. In the other video, though, he doesn't say that. I found another video where he's talking like that. He doesn't say stroke initially. He says something else, but then now it's just stroke. 3 strokes. What? Why would the women misbehave though? The parents. Why would the parents even be there to misbehave? What's going on here? Is this some sort of FDMG freak off central? It doesn't even make sense. Most parents, listen, they got jobs, they work, and they got stuff to do. If they got to come to school to pick the child up, they'll do that. But if the child, in some case, catch the bus, whatever, but they're not going up there to go kick it with Umar. It's just ridiculous. But that's how he sees things. And if they act up or if they misbehave, here we go, Black Mara. If the women misbehave, he's going to paddle them and give them 3 strokes. Well, what about the men, though? What about the fathers? See, he don't think about that because everything is about single mothers because that's his main target demographic for financial and sexual exploitation. Yeah, he's twisted. He's twisted up. Thanks, guys. Little Princess. User225 says, I sent Lene 20 for her loss degree. Stop, man. Just stop. Just stop. Goodness gracious. When you gonna stop? That's all I can say. Let's keep going. Key says, imagine scheming this long only to not be to be able to enjoy the tangibles like cars, house, etc. because your past deeds in child support. Shake my head and say, yeah, it is. Because he's been at this for such a long time. And what does Umar Johnson have to show for it? I was talking about this, I think it was last year, that no matter how high Umar, literally figuratively, no matter how high figuratively Umar gets in life at any given point, he's at a lecture, there's a whole bunch of people there, they're giving him praise and adoration, it feeds his ego, he feels important, people are buying his books, giving them donations, whatever the case may be. No matter how much of that happens, he's still going to have to return to his life. which is a shame. He's going to have to return back to a situation where he's still homeless. He lives with his mama and off his mama. At the age of 51, he's about to be 52. His children don't want to have nothing to do with him. He's a deadbeat. He got at least 3 baby mamas in Philadelphia alone. He doesn't even have his own car. All of this, and no matter what, he has to return to that. It's a shame. And he's been at this for such a long time. This is something I've never understood about Umar. And it's not just Umar, it's other people too I've seen online. If you doing stuff and your life isn't getting better and it's getting worse and worse and worse, why do you keep doing it? That's insanity. And Umar, I don't know what it is. It just hasn't clicked in his mind that he's been living foul for such a long time. And if he expects things to get better, he's going to have to do better. He's going to have to make some changes. And so long as he keeps doing what he's doing, things are going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. Okay? Yeah, good point, Keith. Pimp in Distress says, what's up, homie? You got to play the video when he goes off on his donors and said, we can go outside. He sure did. We can go outside. This man ain't no professional. He's the patient. He is. He's the one that needs psychological services. And most people remember that video because that's a classic video. I think I had that in the first documentary, if memory serves me correctly. Because he had on that it looked like a prison jumpsuit, looking like one of them birds from the Jurassic period. It's not the Jurassic period. My daughter knows all that stuff. If I said that, she'd be like, no, Dad, that's not the Jurassic. Anyway, he looks like a big old bird. Yeah, I'll pull that up. Pimp in Distress. I'll pull it up in just a minute. Now, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, he's not professional, and he's never been respectful towards his donors either from the beginning. He's always complained about them. He's called them trifling. Trifling ass black people. He said that they were lazy. How are you going to call people lazy for donating to a project and there's still no school and Umar's not even working at that time, and he don't have a legitimate business? And he's always asking for money. He's going to call the people who support him and he's been living off of for the last 16 years. He's going to call them lazy. Yeah, he's always been like that, but that's tied to the narcissism and a sense of entitlement that he feels. He feels entitled to black people's money and he feels entitled to black women's cooch. That's how he thinks. Okay, I'll pull it up for sure. Pimp in Distress. Thank you so much for the super chat. Derek says, powder mode, shake my head. He has a thing with powder on, evidently. But the thing is, I don't see why he wouldn't recognize that this is a problem, even though, yeah, we know that Umar, he be partaking in the turning of the heat down. We know that. But I don't see why this wouldn't register in his mind how much of a problem this is. Someone emailed me some more information. No, they posted a message because they used to do mold remediation. I should probably find it and read it to you. And they were talking. They were saying, yeah, that is white powder mold, and they were explaining it because they're like an expert in this stuff because that's what they used to do. But the thing that they mentioned that I hadn't thought about was that when the EPA did the area-wide plan and they suggested that the city tear those buildings down, that was back in 2019. The individual was explaining to me that it's really not that simple. You just don't tear down a building that has that type of infestation, mold infestation, because what you do is you release that. When you're tearing it all down, you're releasing all of that into the environment. And I thought about that, like, that's true, because spores travel. So what they were explaining is that no, there's the mold remediation. There's still levels of mold remediation that needs to take place in advance of them tearing the structures down, and then at a certain point they would be able to build on the empty lot. So that's how serious this is. But in Umar's mind, it doesn't register, and it may have to do with that powder. Yeah, we know that. Thanks, Derek. Giannis says red and green paddle go boom. Okay, all right. And Umar's always talking about paddling the women. The video I showed you guys before, I think that video is from 2020. So he's been talking about that for a long time. Thanks, Giannis. User25 says, I won't let it go, and neither will Umar Johnson's spouse. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, User225. Goddess Noel says, I can't figure out why Umar was mad at the mom for getting her 6-year-old an IEP. Early intervention is key in helping children that learn differently. You're absolutely right. That's why he's so dangerous. The thing is that Umar, he was a conspiracy theorist. I was a conspiracy theorist too, and I would find it difficult to believe that there are many people on the planet who went deeper into that rabbit hole than I did. And I mean, it got really, really dark, and you know, it impacted my mental health and made a whole bunch of horrible decisions and wasted a lot of time too. Okay, but that's life. You know, we live, we learn, we grow. Umar is still a conspiracy theorist, and a lot of his if you go back to earlier Umar videos, you'll see it though. He'll be talking about the Bilderbergs and the Trilateral Commission and the Illuminati and all kinds of stuff that I was into way back in the day. But he doesn't really talk about those things as much these days. In fact, he doesn't really talk about those things much at all. But he every once in a while he'll bring these things up. But his whole orientation about getting children tested deals with this notion and idea. This is the conspiracy theory that this is the gateway to putting children into special education. And yeah, there are children who need special education. But the caveat for Umar is that special education is not in the best interest of the children. Special education is simply the means that has been used by, I guess, the government to reinstitutionalize segregation in school. Sounds weird, doesn't it? Doesn't make much sense that the reason why they're trying to get these IEPs, in addition to putting these children on psychotropic drugs, but also to put them in special education. Because special education was the big thing that he was talking and ranting about all the time. Because he says he's a special education expert, and no, you shouldn't get your children tested for anything because they're going to put them into special education. But there's nothing wrong with them, and they may have ADHD. No, they don't have ADHD. And if you say that they do, then they're going to have to go into special education. You see this? Or they got to get an IEP. Okay, what's the big deal? No, the big deal for Umar is that the reason why that's problematic is because that's part of a conspiracy, and the conspiracy ultimately leads to the segregation, reinstitutionalization of segregation in the school system. Because he talks about, you know, Board, what is it, Brown versus Board, whatever it was, but from back in the day. He says they wanted to get rid of that. And so they wanted to segregate it again, and that by putting these black children into special education, we're segregating, as if white children aren't in special education. He's batshit crazy. I talk about this in the documentary. The logic fails on so many different. I'm a rational thinking person. Okay, I know I goof off a lot, but I'm rational. Okay, I have some critical thinking skills. I know I do research pretty good. And I'm fair. It doesn't stand to reason. I'm reasonable. It doesn't stand to reason. So that's why Umar, he's so against these types of things. It's not so much because he cares. It's not that he is because he cares about black children, because he doesn't even care about his own children. It's remnants of conspiracy, the conspiracy theory mindset that I suffered from back in the day too myself, that still exists in Umar and his early rhetoric. If you listen, that's what it was all about. And he still holds on to that shit to this day and gives horrible advice to black parents based upon this conspiracy theory that he's concocted, that special education is designed to reinstitutionalize segregation. Meanwhile, this fool is trying to open up a school for black boys, which would be what? Segregation. Anyway, it's dangerous because there are black parents who took his advice and they chose not to get their child special services or even psychological services or even mental health services because they believed in what Umar got to say. And what he's got to say is based upon conspiracy theories that he's concocted in his batshit crazy mind. I've been there. Okay, I've been there. Thanks, Goddess Noel. User 225 says face masks are good during wildfires. Wildfires. Peace to your fam. Yeah. No, the wildfires are wildfires. They've calmed down. The air quality is still really bad, and it still smells. There's still particulates in the air, but they've calmed down a little bit. Thank you, User 225. I appreciate that. And then May says rich white folks get accommodations for their kids. They sure do. They sure do. So what is he talking about? It's just conspiracy against black children. No, he's just. Part of Umar's problem, again, it's part of the conspiracy theory mindset too, is you connect dots where dots don't exist. Sometimes there are dots, but you connect dots that don't connect to other dots, but you do it anyway because your mind is wired at a certain point to just think in these ways. Umar, he still does that to this day. But what the evidence shows is that no, there are black children and there are white children, there are Asian children, all types of children who are in special education. And most children aren't in special education. So what is he talking about is to reinstitutionalize reinstitute segregation. And then he also says that it's part of the school to prison pipeline, that if your children, they get IEPs, if they're getting special education, that they're going to go to prison. All right. Thanks, May. Keith also says hazmat suit needing to no one should have ever been inside those bandos from the jump when Umar acquired them back in February 2019. It's a health hazard, and no one should be in there to this day. See, if we look at what Umar Johnson has done over the last 7 years, he hasn't mitigated any health hazards associated with these buildings. In fact, Francisco sent me information. See, there's no, that's why the EPA, they said that there's no records of any type of I can't remember what the term is, but things like asbestos, things like, well, obviously, clearly mold, mildew, lead paint. See, if we go back to that February of 2019 video where Umar does the school announcement, he says, we don't have to worry about asbestos. We don't have to worry about lead paint. Why? Why don't you have to? How do you know that? Have you had inspections done to check for that? No, he hadn't. He had just acquired these trap bandos. He still doesn't know what he's doing. There's no telling what types of hazards. I'm sure that there's more that I just don't know of that could, take place inside a building that have been boarded up and you have mold and mildew growing for 4 years before he acquires them. And then here we are 7, because in essence, we're talking about over a decade of this, at least a decade. He never mitigated that. He'll paint, he'll do some painting, he'll put some flooring down. He'll put some tiles in the ceiling. That's all cosmetic. See? Anyway. And thank you, Keith. Derek says, real talk, why would you publicly say you'll throw hot bleach on anyone, let alone 2 women? Then you're calling them wives. You'd rot in jail for off felonies. Yeah. Why would anyone talk like that? Why would anyone even think something like that? Well, Umar, he's a sadist, and that's problematic. He's big on corporal punishment too. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I know I haven't talked about his father in a long time. I have a sense, and I said this way before 2025. If you guys catch my drift, I said I think his father used to bully him. His father wasn't around all that much, but when he was, I think he used to bully Umar. I actually think his mama used to mistreat him too. Real talk, but we ain't gonna get into that. So when Umar is shipped away to the private school, which is a military academy, it's ROTC. It's corporal punishment. Okay. And I'm not talking about like over the top. I'm just saying that's how the military works. They're not trying to be like all nice and kind about shit. Umar picks up on that. He's not ready for that because he was marshmallow then. He's marshmallow now. I have a sense that he got bullied while he was at that school, while he was there too. Because I've heard him tell some stories about how difficult it was. And it's not just because he was separated from his family. I think a lot of his trauma comes from that experience. But the point I want to make is that Umar has incorporated this idea of bullying, and corporal punishment into how he has, if you will, conceptualized FDMG. That's why he'll say, if your son acts up, we're going to take them into the back and pound their damn chest in. We're going to teach them how to be black Rambos. We're going to teach them, they're going to be a gun club. Where's he getting all that from? Well, that's from his childhood experiences. See, so he's dangerous in that sense too. So to tie this to what you're talking about, Derek, the same type of orientation that Umar Johnson has with his conceptualization, if you will, of FDMG, with the corporal punishment, right, and really being an abusive. And if the women act up, the children's mothers act up, he's going to paddle them in the paddle room. You see this shit? Well, that's no different than how he conceptualizes male-female relations. We were talking about that yesterday. He's an abuser. So he thinks in his mind while this lady is asking this question, and I mean, it's really what they're talking about. In my opinion, is inappropriate. But people, you grown, you can talk about whatever you want to. But what does he have to say? Let me play it again. Here we go.
Problem monogamy creates for professional, successful black men. You know what it is?
See, Umar's not successful. He's not a professional either. He's a bum from Philly that live off his mama at the age of 51. They live inside of mama closet. We live streaming in mama closet. Why are you live streaming in your mama closet? Anyway,
I might be in love with you, but I'm like, damn, she nice too. So when y'all say you got to dwindle it down to one, you know what ends up happening? Time starts getting wasted because we cannot decide just one. When a man got two women who've been rocking with him and holding him down, and both of them expecting to cut the other one off, you know what he gonna do? He not gonna choose. Keep them both. Neither one of y'all get married. That's the problem in the black community. Whereas if y'all said you can choose two, that's better now.
what you mean? Who tells people that they can choose two? You can choose. That's on the individual. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you think that somehow, oh, my son just texted me. I didn't even know he left. Okay. You got too much time. If you're trying to get two women, you got too much time on your hand. Plus, you're a freak too, but we ain't gonna get into that. You got too much time on your hand.
I got you, and you helped me choose the other one.
So, with your two women, is it just they just focus on you? Or are you letting them scissor and bump coochie or get involved in what's
no
going on?
coochie bumping. This is no carpet munching, right?
Okay.
They are my wives.
Okay.
Who talks like that?
But they will work together in everything else.
Okay. So no extraness. I just want to know, because a lot of times that does happen.
I know.
That does
and
happen.
a lot of times the men want it to happen. You follow what I'm saying?
A lot of men want to, and a lot of men don't want it. And a lot of women sneak and do it.
That's true.
A lot of women sneak and do it.
Umar was like, I don't want it. I cut it out, Umar. Everybody know you a freak. Cut it out. You into that P. Diddy.
Do it because they're being themselves and everybody being honest.
Yes. If I catch my wives in bed together, I'm going to get a hot bucket of bleach and throw that shit on both of them.
Okay. He's a sadist. See, even for him to think that, but then also to verbalize that is disturbing. And yet people think that he is the type of person that they should send their child to, or that they should send money to so other people's children can be in his care. That's crazy. Thanks, Derek, for a super chat. Okay. Let's get into the main, and this won't take too long too, by the way. The poll question is, are you surprised that Umar has had the FDMG Bandos for over 7 years and no child has been educated? 12% said yes, 88% said no. Make sure you get your vote in. And our goal for likes during this live stream is 200. Okay. We're at 193. Let's go for 300. Yeah. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Okay. Let's pick it up. We're going to go to 2022. And what we're going to be looking for is any evidence of mold, mildew, or algae. Okay. We'll skip through the video though. Here we go. Yeah, I'll just skip through. And then we'll go to 2023. I know in this video, this is when he was singing the FDMG song.
Academy. And if we don't have enough space, your child won't be able to come. So on 2 to 300 students, you're going to want your child to come here. You're going to want your child to come here to the Marcus Garvey Frederick Douglass Academy.
Yeah, so you can see that you can see a little bit, see right back there, but that could be from the drywall. It looks like they cut something out right there. So I wouldn't count that as being, I mean, it could be, but I don't think that it is.
The Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. And if we don't have enough space, your child won't be able to come.
Now, I want you guys to look at that toilet. There's urine in the toilet, but what's the problem with that toilet? Can anyone in the chat room see what I'm alluding to? What's the problem with that toilet? And there is a problem, and it's not just the urine that's in there. I'll wait. Yeah, but no, I've already identified that. But look at the actual urinal, if you will. Yeah. Now, what is it about the urinal? Everybody, you guys leave this man's shirt alone. Yeah, it ain't no pipe. Thank you, Deshaun. There's no plumbing. You can't flush it. So why would anyone, including Umar, no, it's not a disabled person. It doesn't have any pipe work, so you can't flush it. It's not connected to anything. I'm talking about the urinal that we see back here. So I know it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm on mama. I probably Umar. That's what I'm saying. This video's from 2022. It's probably Umar.
So
that is diabolical. It is so gross. And it just sits in there because you can't do nothing with it. What you gonna do with it?
we need you to donate. So once we are done the Marcus
Yeah, I know. That's always crazy.
Garvey School, we can start working on the Frederick Douglass.
Did you guys see that? You know, we watched this years ago, and I didn't even notice this stuff. Hit the one.
We need you to donate. So once we are done the Marcus Garvey School, we can start working on.
Look at that. There's more than just urine in that one, and there's no pipe work. A lady, don't do that. A lady said, "Is that blood on the wall?" No, I didn't see nothing like that. At this point, though, I wouldn't be surprised. How's it going, love, for us? I wouldn't be surprised, though.
The Frederick Douglass.
Why would he show this?
Once we are done the Marcus Garvey School, we can start working on the Frederick Douglass School. Now, I'm going to have to get on my contractor. I'm going to have to get on my contractor because his professionals have been urinating in the toilet and they know the plumbing is being renovated as we speak.
No, see, what happened was people were going in on him in his chat rooms and he saw that. So now he has to come up with an excuse. He said the same thing last year, though. Hit the one. Y'all remember that? He said the same thing last year. This video's from 2022. In 2025, when there was all types of stuff in them toilets, Umar said that it was the contractors, the black contractors. Hit the one. So back in 2022 and in 2025, this guy.
Plumbing is being renovated, and you cannot urinate in our urinal or toilet if we don't have the water running yet, because the plumbing is being renovated. See, these are the problems we have to go through here at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. So now I have to get on the contractors for
cut it out. He sound like polite right here.
Urinating in your toilet.
No. It's not mine. I know that. I know that for sure. You the one up in there pissing in the toilets, you nasty. If y'all think that Umar's in here pissing in these toilets, hit the 5. Okay. He can't, I mean, just admit it. Just say, hey, listen, family, I didn't mean to show that, but I've been pissing in these toilets for months. Just admit it. Fine. No, he got to he always can't hold himself accountable. He got to blame everybody else. Everybody, listen, if you think that, look at all these 5s. Umar, you ain't fooling nobody. Cut it out. How's it going, Dr. Nene? You ain't fooling not one person up in here. Hey, how's it going, Boo Verla? Yeah, that's Umar. That's what he do. He ain't. I mean, it's a while. It's a way away. Back to the mama closet. You know what I'm saying? So he just had to handle that business. What's up? I mean, he had to handle that business when he can. He ain't worried about no plumbing. That's not the issue for Umar. He don't care. He just let it sit in there. Then he got to lie about it.
Okay, I'm going to send him a message right now.
No, you're not.
Respectfully, can you please tell your workers if they need to take a piss?
This guy be lying so much, and he's just coming up with this on the spot, and he keeps going with it.
There's a porta potty outside. If you need to relieve
Okay, if there's a porta potty outside, why don't they just use that? What are you talking about?
Yourself, there's a porta potty outside.
Yeah, notice that.
Okay, but we don't need you urinating in our students' urinals. We don't need that because the water, the plumbing is being renovated as we speak.
Listen, they would know that because there's no pipe work, Umar. These so-called contractors and the workers, they would know that because there's no pipe work. We were able to figure it out. These people, they do construction. You don't think they wouldn't be able to figure that out? No, you the one pissing in them toilets.
Brothers and sisters, hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Because
there you go.
We about to make history. We not sitting on YouTube,
oh, here you go. This is from 2022. What's going on with his forehead, too?
Gossiping, fighting. We not sitting on YouTube making podcasts. We are building institutions. Now, if you know of someone else in the conscious community.
Here you go. Let me just skip through because yeah, so this is one of the classrooms.
We will not stop until we are victorious. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Send in your check or money order to P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Come witness history. Come witness history because FD.
Here you go.
FDMG Academy is coming. September 10th, second annual fest. FDMG Academy is coming, brothers and sisters.
He's such a weirdo.
Oh, yes. Let them laugh, brothers and sisters. Let them joke. Our people are sick. Our people are mad. Our people.
Yeah, no, he's the one who's sick. Look at this guy in here ranting and raging, looking like a bum, Pookie. Yeah, so here's a lot of mode. All up over here. All up over here. Let me just skip through. This right here, too. I showed this the other day from, I think it was from 2019. If you look, none of this is, it doesn't look like this. It's like it's just mold infested. It's everywhere. Yeah, they were doing some, I think they were repairing the streets or something like that. Umar tried to act like this was part of his renovation. Let me see if this is the video.
Every tree here represents a shrine to the Orisha. Every tree you see represents a shrine to the Orisha. Oh, yes. No school like it. The largest independent black campus in the country. The largest independent black campus in the country. The only campus with 2 real schools and 2 real gymnasiums.
Not Umar he posted this 3 hours ago, and he's docking the person that texted him because they put their phone number. And the person said, "Hello, Prince." And then Umar responds, "Good Garvey Day. With whom am I speaking?" And then they said, "I will catch you at those funky." I shouldn't laugh. They said, "I will catch you at those funky ass buildings." Oh no. Oh no, I can't read the rest of this. I cannot read the rest of this. I can't read what they said next because they shouldn't be doing Umar like that. I shouldn't laugh. Poor Umar. I feel bad for him. But after this person issues some threats, I'll just say that no, I ain't reading it. I'm not reading that. You know what? I'm reading this shit. I can't do that. They issued some threats to Umar. And then Umar says, "No offense, but your queen ate up the prince last night." What in the world? And then hashtag these nuts. Man, Umar, Umar, come on, man. You got to get it together, man. Anyway, why post that though? And then he posts the person's phone number too. Nah, I can't read that. Anyway, let's get back to this video. I got blowed off.
Only independent black school in the country with 2 real schools and 2 real gymnasiums.
Yeah. So he tried to pass this off, world work off as if it was part of FDMG, but it wasn't. Because there's a brother out there in Wilmington who actually went when the workers were out there and asked, and they was like, no, that ain't got nothing to do with what Umar got going on. Okay, so here's the gym. I just want to see if we can see. Well, this is after he painted, so we won't see. Yeah, he had put carpet in this room. Yeah, there's some plumbing work that looks like they had gotten into to fix.
Just do me a favor and make sure you ain't here at the festival. See, I can respect a hater who is an
so the floor looks decent at this time. This is what I mean by even after he got the water situation taken care of, and then they had mopped these floors and stuff. Even after he did that, that white mist still came back. The white white powder mode, it comes back.
An honorable hater. I can respect the hater if he's an honorable hater, but if you're not an honorable hater, brothers and sisters, if you don't hate honorable, see, a real hater won't come to the festival. A real hater won't try to send their children to the schools. A real hater will stay away, brothers and sisters. We about to make history. We about to make history. We not playing with y'all. Oh yeah, a change is gonna come. Sam Cooke said, a change is gonna come. Sam Cooke said, a change is gonna come one day, brothers and sisters. The change is gonna come. The change is here. Oh yes. All my donors, give yourself a pat on the back.
All right, well, at least these toilets have pipe work, so give him credit for that. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. Yeah, the floor isn't all the way clear, though. There's still some white dust on top of it, so it's probably just building up at this point. Okay, so this is 2022. Let's go to 2023. Many of you guys remember this.
More lesson, and then we get to why y'all here.
Okay, you guys see the difference? So this is towards the end of 2023. This is the middle of 2022. Same. We should see the difference.
Basketball tournament for the festival. We might do a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Let me see. There we go. So you can look at the floor there, and then you can look at the floor here.
We painted this gym about 2.
Yeah, you see the difference? So it builds up over time.
3 years ago, we had a paint day. People volunteered.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
It was about 13 of us who knocked it out over the course of about a week, I want to say. Right. Brother Manny was with us. You remind me of Brother Manny a little bit. Real good brother out of Philly.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all, because I think, oh no, it's trash a little. But I just want to show the floor here. This is the small gym. Yeah, you can see it starting to build up. Yeah, he shouldn't have had these people up in here in the first place. It's crazy. Yeah, he was smoked. He looked so smoked out in this one. Look. Pants all sagging. Look at this guy. Can't nobody tell me that this guy ain't batshit crazy. Look at him. My mama said, I can't see this foolishness of Umar. I know. It's over the top. Thanks, my mama. How's it going, Pierre? Says, Umar is a hardcore weirdo, blaming non-existent people. Yeah, but he does that. He makes up stories and fictions. He did that with the Jamaican immigrant inspector, and then the assistant director, and then the director as well. He makes all this up, to just blame other people, and then so that he can't hold himself accountable for being a perpetual failure. He never holds himself accountable. Thanks, Pierre. TJ says he repeats stuff 3 times. It must be a compulsory issue. At this point, it's compulsive. I think that initially, like earlier on, when he starts to do it, because he doesn't do it in the early videos, but when he starts doing, I think he did it for manipulative purposes. But at a certain point, if you keep doing that, and Umar, it's habitual. He can't even stop himself. He'll say it for stuff that you don't need to repeat in the first place. You know, he'll be live streaming. Yeah, family. So we need you to we're gonna be opening up the school soon. We're gonna be opening up the school soon. We're gonna be opening up the school soon. Okay, there's no need to say that 3 times. There's nothing special about you saying that. You say that all the time. But he can't help himself at this point. He does. It's a psychological issue because he's done it so much, and in his mind it's just he has to do it. I've heard him say stuff 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Thanks, TJ. Miss Wells says making history by Umar's always saying that they're making history, but he hasn't done anything. What has he done with FDMG? Nothing. But he says it's making history. Okay, he got some pissy toilets. So thank you, Mr. Wells. TJ says Umar accepts change, EBT, IOUs, coupons. Yeah, one time he said that he accepts. He said he accepts. What was it? Food. He said he accepts food stamps. Twice he said that. Yeah, one time he said that for donations for the school. And another time he said that for people if they want to buy his book. He said that he would accept food stamps. Yeah. Thanks, TJ. Miss Wells, Mr. Wells says Umar is the audience of his own show. Well, there's an audience though too, because it's like I call it an Umar Johnson saga. You know, people had called it other things back in the day, but that's when, you know, people are trying to make all this about themselves. I didn't approach that way. I said, no, this is about Umar. Umar's the main event. So many years ago, I said, no, I call it the Umar Johnson saga because that's the focus. So there are people who watch, but I think with Umar, psychologically speaking, a lot of what he does is for himself, meaning all the antics, you know, when he's promoting himself as the greatest psychologist, it's just Umar needs validation. And if other people don't give it to him, he'll give it to himself. And so in that sense, he becomes his own show. He becomes his own audience. Yeah, I agree with that. But there are people who watch this Umar Johnson saga, and I've been watching it for many, many years. At times it's troubling. At other times it's very entertaining. At other times it's hilarious. It's like East B said yesterday, it's a journey, and it really is. But I think mentally, Umar, all the stuff that he does, it's fulfilling some emotional, mental need that he has that's insatiable. And a lot of his antics is simply about providing himself with content that makes him feel better about himself, where he feels validated. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Wells. Keith also says, chair in the gym. I was thinking if he was curious of the rock on the step, he was curious of the white powder mysteriously appearing on the floor. Yeah, but the thing is, it may not have ever registered in his mind because it was there when he first went up in there. You know what I'm saying? Whereas that white rock, and if you guys don't know, there's a video, and it's a very telling video. I remember we watched it live, and I didn't know what was going on because Umar, he was walking around the campus, and he had a man who was, I'm assuming it was a male, could have been a female, who was filming him, and he was doing like a school promo and talking about how the school is great and blah, blah, blah. And at a certain point, he looks over. He's walking. He looks over, and there's these steps, and he goes like this to the cameraman and like, wait. And he turns back and goes over to the step, and then he sits down and he starts doing like this. You saw off the screen, you can see his finger moving, but it's off the screen. You don't see what he's touching. I thought it was like a bug or something. Nope. The camera pans back, and it's a little white rock. Okay, that's dope fiend behavior. So the difference, though, Keith, is that was something that Umar didn't expect to see. And I'm sure he's walked past those steps many times. He never saw that, or it didn't register at least. And when he saw it at that time, he had to go and take a look. Whereas this powder that's in this gym, and I showed an example of it from 2019, and it's all over the place. That powder was there prior to Umar even acquiring those trap bandos. So I don't think it even registers in his mind. I think it probably registers now because we've been covering it. But I don't think it registered in Umar's mind because it was always there, and it's all over the place. It's not just in that small gym; it's in the small what he calls a small school. There's times where he'll wipe things down. You can tell he wipes stuff down, but then it reappears. Okay. Thanks, Keith. Yeah, and I hope you people know what video I'm talking about. I've played it many times. Yeah, it was a crazy video. It really was. I remember we watched it the first time, and I didn't know what was going on. Yeah. That was. Y'all want me to play it? I can play it. I got time. Yeah, I'm off tomorrow too. So let me pull that one up. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is from 2021.
In Black. This is Dr. Umar Tunde.
Yeah, he looked bad too.
Prince of Pan Africanism. I
Yeah,
want to
grab some of the
welcome
drink.
you
I'll be right
to
back.
the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey. RB.
By the way, you see these steps? See, at a certain point, he had someone come. He had someone come power wash him. I thought that was after 2021. No, because what that would mean is that that's what I think. Wasn't it? Anybody remember that? Is Black Anonymous up in here? I thought I saw Black Anonymous. Yeah, Black Anonymous was up here earlier. This is 2021. Didn't he get the steps in the sidewalk power washed after 2021? So what that means is all of that mold and stuff, it wasn't there in 2021 like it is now, because it's back now. That's all on the steps. Anyway, I'm just looking here. Let me go give me some drink. I'll be right back.
International Leadership Academy.
By the way, look up there at the on the roof. That's the larger building. You see how those HVAC units are gutted? We've been talking about that. But Umar lied and said that those HVAC units were intact. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was in 2024. Yeah, Akira, I think it was 2024. Yeah, because it was a big deal. The guy came and did it, and Umar, he was live streaming and bragging about it, but he should have had that done from day one. Anyway, here's the part right here, I think. No, not yet. Oh, by the way, if you guys, this is the side of the large gym. There's mold over here too. You can see it, but it's not as bad as it is now. Y'all see that? Yeah, it's actually worse now.
We are going.
I thought I took this music out. Maybe I put up the wrong one because I have a different version. Yeah, there's mold right there. But if we look here, yeah, this sign is still there too, by the way. Okay, I just want to point one other thing out. So when Umar walks by these steps right here, this leads into the gym. It's like on the side of it. Those railings, those are gone now, but they were already bent. See that? But someone tore them all the way down. And that sign is still up there. And Umar walks around again to the other side where there's barbed wire on the fence, but we ain't gonna get into that. And then he comes back around, he's walking. It's coming up here. Yeah, he actually walks around all of the buildings. Okay, wait, no, not yet. Okay, here it is right here. Okay. So there's a guy filming him. Watch what he does.
Of Black people that purchased this campus, brothers and sisters. And speaking of symbolism, speaking symbolically, brothers and sisters, let us also understand that in a very symbolic way,
Yeah, see how he was moving his finger? Now watch what when he pans back the camera.
if Wilmington, Delaware was the last stop.
Y'all see that little, it's like a little white rock. He's a dope fiend. This is dope fiend behavior. I don't mean to say it like that, but that's what it is. See, sometimes that addiction gets so bad that they will see dope in places. It ain't even no dope. They just think it's some dope because that's what they want it to be. You can put some flour on the table for for a cocaine addict, and the first thing they're gonna think is that it's cocaine. They ain't gonna think that it's flour. You can even put the flour bag up there. Just sit it on the table too. But you put it, and you just put it into a little line. Not that I know anything about that. But you put it in a line. What the first thing they're gonna think is that it's some cocaine. They're gonna go over to it. They're gonna be like, well, that's what Umar's doing right here. I'll play it again. And by the way, he's passed the steps already, but he actually turns back around. It's like crackhead. Like crackheads, they'll be looking for crack in the if there's carpet, they'll look for crack rocks in the carpet. They'll just be looking around, moving the carpet over, trying to. That's Umar. Look at this guy. Sad.
And speaking of symbolism, speaking symbolically, brothers and sisters, let us also
see that. And he's pointing to kind of say, hey, hold on a second, and then he turns back.
So understand.
See how he's turning back around to go sit down next to it to go see what it is.
That in a very symbolic way.
And he's fidgeting with it. This is crackhead behavior. He's trying to see what it is. Look at that. And now he identifies it's nothing that it's not what I was hoping that it is. So he just keeps talking.
In a very symbolic way.
See, and the other thing is he can't even stop himself. They're recording this. He doesn't even have the sensibility to say, hey, wait a minute, I shouldn't do this. No, he can't help himself. Okay. And that's what happens with dope fiends. They can't help themselves. I mean, they can go get help, you know what I'm saying, if they want to change. But I'm saying that at a certain point, when it gets to a certain point, they're not thinking about anything else. It's like, that's what I needed. And they're going to do whatever they can to go get it. And if that means that they got to go like this and then walk over while it's being recorded to go check, they're going to do that. That's what Umar did. Look at it. And when we saw this video, I didn't know what was going on. I was confused, but then the camera panned back.
If Wilmington, Delaware.
And there you go. I know, ESP. It's actually amazing to me. It really looks. It's amazing that he was able to be able to identify that. I don't mean to laugh. I shouldn't do that, but you go anyway. User 335 says, if he living at FDMG, there's no shower. There's no shower. Umar, he used to brag about the showers that are in the large gym, but I've never seen those. Anybody remember that? Because he hasn't mentioned those many times. From what I remember, I only remember him mentioning it one time. But there are showers inside of the large gym. From what he was saying. In the small gym, no, but the large gym. But he doesn't do anything over there in the large gym, and he hasn't done anything over there. He's just stored his stuff when he got evicted back in 2019. He stores his stuff inside the large gym, and then I showed a video of that recently. It's filthy in there. It's horrible. I mean, it's diabolical. So no, he ain't taking no showers out there. The video that he did last month, where he announces again that the school is ready, that renovations are complete. The video that he did the day before, there's a brother who sent me video of Umar arriving the day before, and he gets out the rental car, and he goes in. And then the next day, when Umar does the video where he makes the announcement that the school is done again, he has on the same clothes. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. Thank you, User Divide. Sagi says, real talk, Umar threw away $400K. Yes. If we add up all of the money, well, listen, if real talk, around $3 million that he's wasted, because not one black child has been educated. He's been at this for such a long time. And we're just counting from 2014. So over the last 12 years, around $3 million is just wasted because the end goal has not been realized. But when we talk about the purchase of these trap bandos for $400,000, even though Umar says it's around 750 or 700,000, it's wasted money. All of the money that he spent on FDMG, which is minimal compared to how much money he spent on himself dealing with this FDMG donation money, but all the money that he spent on FDMG, it's a waste of money. See, we can even go, okay, let me watch this. We can say 400,000 for the purchase price. We can say 160. I think it was 164,000. I can't remember exactly. 164,000 on the taxes that Umar paid for, that his donors had to pay for 2019 and 2020. That's wasted money, because if he had his tax exempt status and his paperwork in order, he wouldn't. That his donors wouldn't have to pay that money. That's 164,000. Okay, well that's $564,000 right there wasted, just right there. He said that the blueprints were 20,000. That's $584,000 right there. He said that the HVAC unit was 50,000. That was just for one of them. That's $634,000 right there wasted. And there's other things that we can come, because I know he had electricity work. I thought it was like $76,000 or something like that. I'm just going to put that in here. $76,000 worth of work on the small building and the gym. That's $710,000. Just that right there, $710,000 wasted. Not one black child has been educated. And then we can add up other things, over the years that he said he's done and give him credit for, even though, ain't no telling he could be. This is stuff that I can think of. Anyone think of anything tangible that we can put a number to that Umar Johnson has done up there at these trap bandos? I'm trying to think. Okay, plumbing. He did get some plumbing work done, but he never gave a figure on that. Let's say 50,000. Let's just throw in a figure in there, just so that it looks like at least he's spending some of this money. Now we're up to 760,000 right there. It's still wasted money. Okay, to your point. Anyone think of anything else? What's up, Fu Chill? That's all I can think of in terms of stuff that he's actually done. Well, the block party too. I don't know how much he would have paid for that. I would think it was had to have been in the range of about 20,000. He did two of those, so that's about, let's just say 40,000 right there. That's 800,000 wasted right there. I was asking to see if you guys have any other thing. That's all I can think of. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can think of anything, but that's all Michael Jackson charged $300. No, I think Miguel's charged more than that. Okay, but we include that in the 20,000 for the what you call it, Miguelito. The dollar store cleaning products. All right, maybe about $50. That gets us to 800,000, $50. See, we can't even really think of anything because he ain't. Someone said gin. Nah, we can't put that in there. That's all I can think of. I'm sure that there has to be other things. He got the gym floor buffed. Let's say, I don't know. He probably got that done for free, but let's say 200. No, that's that. Yeah, let's say 200. He got roof repair work done. If he actually paid for that, that would have been a significant amount of money, I would think. Let's say 15,000, just to come up with a figure to, all right. Well, that's about $815,000 wasted. No matter what we throw in here, it's just wasted money because not one black child has been educated. But again, $400K for these buildings, he threw it away because what he could have done is he could have taken that $400,000 and just he could have leased a building or lease office space. And everything's already ready. No renovation necessary. The plumbing works, electricity works, everything's up to code already. And then, just have, he could have had 3 classrooms and then office space for himself, and then another office space for, I guess, a counselor, just something like that. And he could have paid, I don't know, what, $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month. I mean, even $10,000 a month. Okay, with $400K just to start. But no, that's not what he did. He purchased these trap bandos with millions of dollars worth of renovation work that needs to go into them. And here we are 7 years later, and not one black child has been educated. So literally $815,000 that we can come up with right here that's just missing based upon stuff that Umar Johnson said that he did. Okay. And overall, it's got to be closer to $3 million because most of the money that Umar Johnson has received, he spent on himself. which would be around let's round this up. Let's say 100,000 that he's put in, including the purchase price plus 600,000, which I don't think he's done, but let's say 600,000, there's still going to be about 2 million left missing, somewhere around there. But if we took $2 million and we divided that by, we're going to go since 2014, we're talking 12 years. Let's go 12 years. That's $166,000 a year. You don't think Umar can't run through that with the substance abuse issue? You don't think he can't run through that with the gambling addiction and the food addiction and the sex addiction and the traveling all over the world and buying dashikis and African garb and all this stuff? Because he spent a gang of money on clothes and child support. You don't think he can't run through 166,000? Anyway. That was a lot of money back in the 80s. Not to be like that, but nowadays, come on. All right. Thanks, Soggy Cornflakes. User 225 says Umar Johnson should get 225 Chinese name tattoo on. What in the world are you talking about? You gotta get 225 Chinese tattoo on his lower back. What in the world? That's crazy. Okay. All right. Thanks to the 225. TJ says Umar, a.k.a. Pookie from New Jack City, Salt Lake. What's his name? Did a fantastic job, didn't he? Chris Rock. Boy, he could play a crackhead. He sure could. He can tell jokes, but I'll tell you, his crack skills, it was way better, in my opinion, than his. He's funny, but I'm saying he could play a crackhead. He should have got, real talk, he should have got an Emmy or whatever award they give for that kind of, he should have got something for that. To this day, I still think he's a crackhead. Say, weren't you that crackhead? And because he played it, he was perfect. He did such a good job. It was sad too, especially the end part. They didn't have to do him like, they could have let him live. They didn't let him live. Anyway, I felt bad for him. I still feel bad for Chris Rock to this day because of that. Thank you, TJ. Brashan says cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick. All jokes aside, Rick James was one of the most talented musicians, songwriters, and even singers that I've seen, and that's saying a lot. I'm not saying he's on Stevie Wonder level. That's not what I'm saying. But he was one of the most talented. And if you listen to him sing, you can hear it, especially when he was doing the duet with Tina Marie. But then his writing skills, and then also as a musician, he was on a whole nother level. There's quite a few people that are really underrated, and he's one of them, Rick James. Yep. Yeah, for some reason, my wife was getting him mixed up with Little Richard. I said, baby, don't do that. He said, is that Little Richard? I said, don't do that. I said, Little Richard is the wop bop doo bop the bop da. She said, oh, okay. Because she from the island. She don't, anyway. Thank you. And she didn't live there all her life. She just grew up there for an extended period of time. Thank you, Brashan. And you're right. Okay. Keith says child support. Yeah, a lot of the money has gone towards child support, and we can throw that in there too in the mix for the amount of money that Umar Johnson has wasted. Because he should have had a job to pay his child support as opposed to taking donations for a school that don't exist to pay his child support. So again, that's a lot of money. Child support, substance abuse issues, gambling, big time. He likes to buy clothes. Renting cars throughout the year, that's really expensive. I mean, it'd be cheaper to just buy one, but that's Umar. I mean, where he's going to park it in the mama closet. Rental cars, sex addiction, food he likes to eat. I mean, his Grubhub or Uber Eats is going to be off the chain each year. So that's why he's still struggling to this day. And I was saying it earlier, no matter what he does or what he says or the highs or lows, literally or figuratively, he always have to return back to his life, which is in shambles and has been for decades now. It's nothing new. Right? Thank you, Keith. And then TJ says Umar is currently portraying it is what it is. This video right here for sure. Okay. And he's not always like this. So I don't want people to say that I don't want to blow it out of proportion. He has a substance abuse issue, but there are times where he gets into these modes where you can tell, I can tell, but I've been researching this guy for a long time, where he gets way deep into it and he's in the binge mode. Then there's times where he's going through withdrawals, and you can see that too. Then all of a sudden you see weight go way down. Then you see his weight go back up. It'll fluctuate. All this is in combination. His life, it's been like this. It's like a tornado. It's just all over the place. He has no order in his life. See, it's fascinating, real quick, about Umar. He wants to be in control of everything and everybody. And that's in his mind. He wants to have order and power over everybody else. And yet he doesn't have power over these addictions, and he doesn't have any order in his own personal life. See that? Literally and figuratively, okay? Because he's a hoarder too. That's the issue of having order, okay? You ain't got no order. That's why you're a hoarder. Thank you, TJ. Derek says he calls crack skill. What? He got crack skills? I didn't say that. Did I say that? I did not say that. I did not say he got crack skills. I did not say that. Okay, and if I no, I didn't say that. If somebody else said that, then yeah, okay, no diddy. But I didn't say that, Derek. Don't put that on me. I hope I didn't say that. Okay, all right, thanks, Derek. Okay, let's get back to it. So I just want to show that video because this is a very important video to see what's going on. And there's other ones too where Umar's in this.
The last stop.
I remember one time he was signaling the plug, and then he kept live streaming. And then at a certain point, the plug returns, and then he ends the live stream right away because it's crazy. These people that be donating and defending Umar, y'all need to get it together, okay? No, I didn't. Y'all, come on, cut it out. No, I did not say that. If I said that, hit the 1. If I didn't say that, hit the 2. I did not say that. You guys be playing too much. User 225 says Umar Johnson loves queens like African religion has. Yeah, all right. You always bringing up Shango. I don't want to hear nothing about. Did I really say that? No. Well, it's Bougie said I did. Bougie said I didn't. Oh my God, there's a lot of ones in here. I'm gonna have to watch this in the replay. Do I need to do a poll on this? Oh my goodness, there's a lot of ones in here. Yeah, I should put a poll. I don't know. Yeah, because Derek, someone's asking because Derek says that I said he got crack skills. Oh my God. I hope I didn't say that. Goodness gracious. Afro Fuck said, yeah, let me go. I'm going to go rewind this. Let me go see. Let me see. I ain't rewinding shit. We moving on. We ain't doing no poll. We ain't running nothing back. We move. We gonna keep going. We just gonna keep going. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about Chris. Oh, yeah, I did say that. I did because I thought, Derek, you were saying that I said that about Umar. No, I said that about Chris Rock when he played Pookie and Coming to America, whatever the movie was called. Anyway, okay, all right, but I didn't mean it that way, Derek. So okay, I did not mean it that way. Let's move on. All right. You guys, y'all always catch me on those types of things. Okay, so let's get back to it. Our goal for likes was 200, but we're already like past 300. Well, no, we're almost at 300. We need 7 more likes. So let's see if we can get to 300. Let's go back to the video from 2022. Wait, oh no, we already did this
for
one.
The festival.
Yeah, we already did this one. So we were looking at the video from 2023.
Because she's the ruling.
And if you look on the floor, you can see that white, the white mold, powder mold is building up more. And he walks around. Yeah, he was really, boy, this video right here was crazy. And he was looking crazy. Look at him. Here, he's like a cartoon character almost. He wasn't always like this too. Oh man. Damn, y'all. See, because I found, like I said this earlier, I found these videos of Umar, and I haven't seen them before, but there's this one in particular. I think it was recorded in and around 2012. And if I pull it up and show it to you, and then show y'all, and then you guys see this, it's like, it's sad. Yeah, let me do this because I'll take this I'll put this as a screenshot here. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Yep, that's again, he's a cautionary tale, and there's lessons that we all can learn about. It reminds me of that Slick Rick song, taking the wrong path. To see him like this is sad. Let me go pull this video up. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. What folder is that in? I think it's right here. Yeah, here it is. So cool. Yeah. And this is around 2012. It may have been before 2012. At some point we'll watch this because I want to do a whole series on these conscious caravan videos because they're really telling. Look at this.
Of Aaron and
yeah, I think this was around 2012. It could have been before because this looks more like he looked in the first Hidden Color, so it could be 2011. But I mean, it could be 2013 too. But if you look at him here, and then you compare it to this other video is from 2023, you can compare it to this. Yeah, it's sad. Man. Yeah, this is 2023. This is around 2012. So, like a decade, 11 years later.
Both Harriet Frederick's mom and young Betsy Stevens' mom were raped by the slave master who owned our family, a European by the name of Aaron Anthony, giving birth to Frederick in
It's the crises that are impacting Black marriages in addition to the baggage that we're carrying from childhood.
Well, one of the biggest things when we look at the political and sociological influences on the success of Black relationships.
Yeah, man. That is sad.
One of the biggest things is the economic castration of Black men because a man's primary women prematurely having not even been in a
Not looking at this.
When you want that relationship, primary purpose of the relationship is to distract you from yourself and your problems. Someone who has a feeling, a longing, a belief, okay, that is the pimp. And then you also have the predator.
Yeah. Do you guys mind? Because I really want to, I'm going to play this for you guys because I'll actually want to do a series and cover all of these interviews. I found them, and then what I did was I compiled them, and they're all in one folder. We can do it as a marathon. But let me show you guys something, because this is Umar projecting, and he's given this, I don't know what we would call this, but it's like how the different types, he calls it like the different types of Black men. And then he also has the different types of Black women. One is the helpless romantic. Another one is the harlot, something like that, something to that effect. So, and then I think there's 5 or 6 of those, but he also has them. But when he gives the one about men, he's actually talking about himself. Let me show you all this right quick.
And so with the pimp, you have a man who just wants to hear that are incorrect because we are so afraid and anxious that they're going to turn into the person that we were last with, that we never give them a fair chance in the relationship.
But let's look at, you talk also about maladaptive types of male.
Yeah, that's what he calls it, the maladaptive male, the maladaptive female. But when he talks about the maladaptive male, he's actually describing himself. Watch this.
Personality.
This is so fascinating. This is such a fascinating aspect of Umar's psychology. And I first recognized this, it probably was about maybe 4 years ago, but 4 years ago, but I didn't put all the pieces together until I started doing deeper research for the documentary. And I started going to look at his older videos. I'm up to 2013 now. And the earliest video I was able to find on Umar was from 2005. Then there's a gap all the way up to 2010. But from 2010 to 2015, I could really put pieces together in terms of Umar Johnson's psychology. And this right here is one of the most fascinating aspects of this, because he's describing himself. Watch this.
When you talk about that in relation to, you say those, what does that mean? What is that when we talk about the different types of?
Well, I found in my work that there's 6 types of unhealthy female relationship personalities and 6 types of unhealthy male relationship personalities. With the male, those 6 types, I call them the pimp.
If y'all can put this in the chat room. So pimp.
The predator. The couch potato. You also have the impregnator, the professional. Okay, and then you also have the, you have the pimp, and you also have the predator, and you have the couch potato, the professional, the impregnator, and then you have the men who is all about sexually abusing a woman, okay, using them for their sexual resources. And so with the pimp, you have a man who just wants to use a woman for her financial benefits. He's the man who wants to live off a woman financially, her car, her credit cards, her house, her money. He's just interested in using her to take care of him.
See, this shit is so deep. You're right, Alakia. Yeah, it's all him. But he's compartmentalized all of this as if it's all separate. No, these are 6 personalities within Umar. And these personalities, watch this. So pimp, predator, couch potato, impregnator, professional, and then I don't know what he would call the one that uses the women for the player. That's what it is, because he calls it a player in another video. Okay. Some of this actually sounds like Tariq Nasheed's rhetoric when he was doing, what did he call that? The Mac lessons. That's what it kind of reminds me of. But let me put this on the screen. I'm going to, this is fascinating. Again, I really want to do a series on just these cultural caravan interviews. I have all of them because there's so much here that we can learn. So the pimp, predator, couch potato, impregnator, the professional, and the player. Now, even before I let him explain these, watch this. Umar has different personalities. It's like his core personality is little Jermaine. We've talked about that extensively, and I first recognized it when he was telling his kind of like his backstory about how he was raised, and he was at a place where his grandmother's house used to be located, but it had burned, it had perished in a fire or something to that effect. And as Umar was talking about his childhood, he actually flips into this childlike character. It's fascinating. It really is. So that's his core personality, and that's what I mean whenever I say Umar is in a state of arrested development. That's what I'm speaking of. That a state of arrested development is that child that is still within Umar, and all these other characters or personalities have been created by the child. That's why Umar's imagination is the way that it is. It's off the chain. Okay, they've been created for the purposes of protecting the child for threats that are either real or unreal. So one of these characters is the pimp. Anybody want to take a guess? Because Umar gives each one of these names. The pimp is Big Papa. Which also connects to it's supposed to be the Prince of Pan Africanism, but it also correlates to one of Umar's favorite rappers from back in the day, Biggie Smalls, who tried to play the pimp archetype. Pimp archetype, though, that was widely used inside of hip hop back in the day. Probably still to this day, I don't know, but back in the day for sure. So Big Papa is the pimp. The couch potato, that's Umar. That's Umar. It's a materialization of Umar, the little boy who still stays with his mama and likes to sit around and do what? Watch horror movies. That's why whenever you see Umar back in the day when he would be in hotel, motel rooms, he'll be live streaming what? In the bed. Okay, that's the couch. TV be right there. The couch potato also likes to eat and shit, be sitting on the couch just eating and shit. Well, that's Umar. Okay, but that's tied to Umar, like the child that hasn't grown up. He's living off of his mama at the age of 51. And he likes to sit around, and one of his hobbies, and I have a video where it's a radio interview, is to sit and watch horror movies. Another of his hobbies that he explained was to take naps. That's the couch potato. The couch potato is lazy. That's Umar. Unmotivated. That's Umar. Number 4, we're going to come back to the predator. Number 4, the impregnator. Okay, that's tied to the pimp, Big Papa, because the Big Papa is always trying to get at these women. And Umar is a baby mama creator. He's an impregnator. No commitment, get the women pregnant and move on to the next. And then when child support is due, he complain about it. He's the impregnator. 5 is the professional. That's and Umar, the way that he explains, I don't know if he explains it in this video, but the way that he explains the professional is that it's the black man who overstates his education and overstates his qualifications and overstates his degrees and overstates his certifications and all of his professional accomplishments. That's Umar. But that particular character is Dr. Umar Johnson. And that's the character that tries to present as a professional, as a school psychologist, a child psychotherapist, as a school principal, vice principal, and dresses in suits and ties, you know, and haircut nice, so forth and so on. So he has, for each of these, the couch potato, whenever you see Umar and live streaming inside of Mama Claus, it look like he just rolled out of bed, that's the couch potato. So the professional is Dr. Umar Johnson. Okay. And then the player actually ties to the pimp, and it also ties to the impregnator because of sexual deviancy. And the player is the one that just goes and gets randoms. And we've seen a lot of that where there's randoms that pop up. See, Umar, that's part of his lifestyle. That's tied to the Big Papa too. See, notice he doesn't say anything about Prince Ifatunde, a character that's associated with that, because he's not in that phase at this point. This goes back to this is videos from around 2012. It could have been before that, but he's not in that phase yet of Pan Africanism per se. I'm talking about full-fledged RBG or whatever he say. Each one of these is Umar, including what? The predator, because the player is predatory, the pimp is predatory, and the impregnator is predatory. So let me let Umar explain this, but understand that each one of these is an aspect of Umar's personality, but they also correlate to each other in different ways, right? Because even the couch potato wants someone to, because he's lazy, sitting on his mama couch, watching horror movies, but he wants women to take care of him. Well, that ties to the player too. And he wants women to take care of him financially. That ties to the pimp. You know, it just came to mind, and I'm just going to speculate here, that it's possible that Umar, one of the reasons why he's so mad at his baby mamas is because he thought that they were going to take care of his bum ass after he got him pregnant, because there are men who think that way. Anyway, that's just speculation on my part. I'm going to let him explain this, and then we'll get back to the main video. I know I said we're going to be brief, but we're going to go ahead because we got to get through these, dealing with this whole mode stuff. That way we can reset for tomorrow. Here we go.
Financially, her car, her credit cards, her house, her money, about sexually abusing a woman, okay, using them for their sexual resources. Of the where you have the pimp, and you also have the impregnalities. With the male, those 6 types, I call them the pimp, the predator, the couch potato. You also have the impregnator, the professional, okay? And then you also have the, where you have the pimp, and you also have the predator, and you have the couch potato, the professional, the impregnator, and then you have the men who is all about sexually abusing a woman, okay? Using them for their sexual resources.
See, even him saying sexual resources, because he's talking about himself, it's problematic, because why would you approach, did I spell potato wrong? Why would you approach women in that way, to where you see them as a sexual resource in the first place? Because he's talking about himself. Okay, well, let's keep going.
And so with the pimp, you have a man who just wants to use a woman for her financial benefits. He's the man who wants to live off a woman financially.
Okay, and isn't that what Umar's been doing with donations for FDMG? I'll propose that most of the people who donate to Umar are women. He don't have his own place. He don't have his own car. He don't have a job. He don't have a legitimate business. He living off his mama. He's in control of her finances too, in Section 8 housing. He's talking about himself.
Car, her credit cards, her house, her money.
Credit cards, house, money.
He's just interested in using her to take care of him.
See? Yep. He's talking about himself.
Okay.
By the way, even when he had women come take care of his mama, it wasn't about the mama, it was about him too. No, it really was about him, because it allows him the freedom to go and roam. So in essence, these women that were coming to take care of his mama was actually taking care of Umar, because it allows him to go do what he wants to do, as opposed to him taking care of his responsibilities with his mama, who he's living off of in the first place.
That is the pimp. And then you also have the predator. This is the man who's domestically abusive.
Yeah, Umar's talking about himself. His daughter came out last year and stated that that he was abusive towards her mother, physically abusive towards her mother. And I already told people years way before I could tell Umar, he's abusive. He's an abuser. That's who he is. You can't tell me that someone who gets online and talks the way that he does about his baby mamas, and they not online talking about him. You can't tell me that he's not abusive. Furthermore, you can't tell me that Umar's not abusive. Look at how he act with the SETI rant, raging and shit. He has no emotional control, emotional regulation. He's quick to anger, quick to rage. So when his daughter comes out last year and alleges that he was abusive towards her mother, I wasn't surprised by that, because that's what I thought anyway. I already thought that he's an abusive person. He has an abusive personality. He's abusive towards his donors. So again, he's talking about himself here.
Okay, that is the pimp. And then you also have the predator. This is the man who's domestically abusive. He knows how to psychologically isolate his women by making them dependent upon him. And then he begins to verbally abuse them. And that verbal abuse turns into physical abuse. And it can turn very deadly.
Yeah, see, that's one of the things that he has done. That's why these women out here, these randoms that he be dealing with, they think that they're special. But that's because Umar makes a special effort to keep them all separated, even though he says he wants, 2 women. No, he wants to, and this is uncommon. He compartmentalized them. They think that they're the one. No, you're not the one. You're a random that he running through. I'm sorry. I'll tell you, I'm just telling you the real. He don't care about you. But that's precisely what he's speaking to right here.
Because as we know, the increase of black men killing their women is slowly on the incline. You have the impregnator. This is the man who lays a lot of eggs, but doesn't necessarily take care of his children.
See? I'm telling you, this is one of the most fascinating things, because he's talked about this before. I have other videos where I remember the first time I heard it, I was like, wait a minute. He started with one, then he went to the next. I said, wait a minute. Then he went to the next. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Is he talking about himself? And then he went to the next. I said, wait, you can't get 4 of them right. No, he's talking about himself. Then 5 and then 6. I said, he's talking about himself.
You have the professional. This is mine. You have the impregnator. This is the man who lays a lot of eggs, but doesn't necessarily take care of his children.
Man, this is deep.
You have the professional. This is the man who misleads women about how together his life really is when it isn't, leading her to believe that he has everything going on when he may in fact have nothing going on. You have the
told y'all. I told y'all. Hey, baby. See, the thing is, you taking him out? Okay, let me just make sure. Hold on, baby. You taking the puppy out? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, if you guys don't mind, I got to get something to drink. I've been saying that, but I'll keep talking. So, so isn't it interesting? Oops. Isn't it interesting when he describes? Can you all still hear me? Because I dropped this thing. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. Hold on 1 second. It should still be going, but I just want to make sure. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Yeah, someone hit the 1. All right. Thank you, Joshua. Hope you're doing. How's it going, bro? So isn't it interesting when he talks about? I apologize. I just got to get something to drink. Isn't it interesting when he specifically talks about the professional? All of a sudden, it goes down to being deceptive about what he has going on, and what Umar is really speaking about. He explains this in another video when he's talking about these 6 types of black men. What he's talking about is men who manipulate women by saying that they got all this stuff going on professionally. So, in other words, as he explains it in other videos, this is the man that he'll say that he's a doctor when he's a doctor or something when all he has is a master's, and there's nothing wrong with having a master's. Or he'll say that he has a master's when he just has a bachelor's degree. Or he'll say he has a master's and he has no degrees. Or he'll say, I'm working at this law firm and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But no, he's not working at a law firm. He works at McDonald's. Okay. So the reason why this is relevant to Umar is because he has been misrepresenting himself professionally for decades now. In fact, I have a document where he's listed as doctor, and the document goes back to 2007, but he doesn't get his doctorate until 2012. So it's interesting that when he talks about the professional, he goes way down. Like this is someone who says that and he's doing all these things when in point of fact he's not. I'm paraphrasing, but Umar is actually talking about himself. It's fascinating. Okay, here we go.
Is when it isn't, leading her to mind. You have the impregnator. This is the man who lays a lot of eggs but doesn't necessarily take care of his children. You have the professional. This is the man who misleads women about how together his life really is when it isn't, leading her to believe that he has everything going on when he may in fact have nothing going on. You have the couch potato, which is the man who was raised by his mother to basically live off of his women. The only difference.
Yep. Yep. Wow. I'm telling you, this is probably, in my opinion, the most fascinating aspect of Umar's psychology is this right here.
Have nothing going on. You have the couch potato, which is the man who was raised by his mother to basically live off of his women. The only difference between the couch potato and the pimp is that the pimp is consciously exploiting his women and the couch potato is unconsciously exploiting his women because this is the way his mother raised him to believe that women are supposed to take care of you. And then
wow, man. Again, I think this is from 2012, but it could be earlier. What I have to do is I'll have to cross-reference pictures that I have of Umar from that time period, and I'll be able to identify pretty quickly what year this video is from. Yeah, I actually think it's before 2012, but anyway.
Of course, you have the man who is sexually exploitive. He's the one who just wants to sample all of the cookies he can get.
Ah, yeah. Yep. There you go. There you go. Sampling of the cookies. And he still talk like that. He's still trying to sample all the cookies with these randoms out here.
from a woman without actually committing or settling down with any of them. And then for the women, you have the hopeless romantic, which is a sister who falls in love with the first man she meets because she's really looking for a surrogate father. You have the healer. This is the woman who tries to turn a man into something he's not, believing that she can't find what she really wants. So she's going to settle for anything she gets and try to miraculously transform him into the man of her dreams. You also have the homicidal honey. This is the woman who has a history of being abused by men. And so she has come to believe that the only way to settle disputes in a relationship is by becoming violent herself. So this is the woman who will grab for guns, for knives. This is the woman who likes to domestically abuse her mate to destroy the things that he owns. She cannot work through any problem peacefully. It has to be drama. And then you also have the high maintenance woman. This is the woman who has been so used and abused by men in her life that she has decided that she's going to pay them back by using them. And so she keeps herself emotionally isolated, and she simply settles for exploiting men for their financial benefits. So these are some of the types of maladaptive men and women that you see out here dating all the time.
Wow. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, this is such a deep, and I have other videos for it. I actually have it in my notes, but I ran across this one. Actually, it was today. I was looking for this other video, and I happened to run across these. I want to do a series to cover all of these videos from the Culture Caravan. And this is just one. I think I have like 7 of them all together. Really, really deep stuff, in my opinion. Okay. All right. Okay. Rated R for Robin says, how long do you think Umar will use the certificate of occupancy excuse? Yeah, we had asked that question in the poll. Yeah, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I'm going to go with a year. I'm going to go with a year because he can't use it forever. And at a certain point, people are just like with everything else. People are going to say, hey, wait a minute, this is taking too long. You're scamming again, even the people who believe him now. And then what happened, historically speaking, what happens is that whenever he comes up with like this fake narrative, this lie that something's stopping him, his followers, some of them at least, they'll believe it, and then they'll go along with it up until a point. And then at a certain point, they realize that he was lying because there's no way that it would go on that long. And then that's when he'll start to pivot. So I'm going with a year. So we're talking, I'm going with a year that he's going to have to pivot to something else. And who knows where he may take it next. He's added to the story. He's been more specific. He's added more specificity, but that's because these liars, the pathological liars, they're trying to paint a narrative. And what happens is that early on, when they start painting the narrative, things aren't as specific. But then as they continue to tell a lie over and over again, it just grows and grows and grows. But then at a certain point, it gets so outlandish that people stop believing in it. And then that's when they pivot. That's what Umar's going to do at some point. But I give it a year. That's what I'll say. Yeah, thank you already, for Robert. Derek says, brand Nubian, slow down. Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Derek. Afropunk says, hey, then can we do a list of marathon topics? Oh, yeah, we should probably do that too. Okay, let's do this. At the end of this live stream, we'll put together a list, and then during tomorrow's live stream, we'll add to that list, and that way I'll get an idea of what we'll cover, because it's totally up to you guys. But I do want to do a review of a full review of the SETI rant. And then I want to do a review of the Turk Nasheed Umar Johnson beef. Okay, so someone remind me. I already have my document pulled up right here, and I'll just start typing stuff in. Someone remind me when we start to wind this down. We can just put together a short list, and then tomorrow we'll come back and I'll talk about it, and then we'll add more to it. All right, thank you. That's a good suggestion too. Thank you, Afropunk Chick. Jay Civic says, I just want to say hi. Oh, hello, welcome, Jay Civic. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat, all the super chats. Thank you guys so much. YouTube device says, I want to see Umar Johnson lose everything because it'll be a man. Well, the thing though, YouTube device, what would that be though? What would that entail? Because it's not like he really has anything of consequence. After he gets off of the internet, he has to return to an empty life. So what would that mean exactly? Everything for Umar. The way I look at it is everything to Umar, it's about money, power, and sex. So if he was denied those things, that would be for him losing everything. Other people's money, crushing of the cookies, having power over Black people, if that would be terrible for him, right? There's other things though too. I guess the ability to gamble, but that's tied to money. And you turn the heat down, that's tied to money. Food, that's tied to money. Anyway, Thanks you, Divine. James says Umar studied psychology to analyze his dysfunctional lifestyle. His own case study. I totally agree with this. That's not uncommon either. I've seen because I've done some study into psychology just for my own personal growth. I've done that. Now, actually, still even going into the beginning of this year, like I was, just working through things. I'm always working through things. One of my big things is I tend to have anxiety, like with my children. Like if they're out, and I should be okay because they're okay, but my mind gets to going. I have a lot of anxiety about that kind of stuff, where it's not necessary. It's one thing to be, because I'm hyper vigilant, but I think it's tied to my childhood and just how I was raised and stuff. But there's things that I've worked through, and there's things I'm still working through. But the thing is that for Umar, in my studies of these things, I've actually heard psychologists and like people who've written books. I've read books and stuff. They'll talk about how the reason why they got into psychology in the first place was because they recognized that they had some issues and they wanted to figure out how to fix those issues. I think Umar is the same thing. I think it's the same thing. In fact, he tells a story that the reason why he wanted to become a psychologist was because, and he goes into it every time. He says, I was the oldest son and I didn't have someone to talk to. That's what he said. That's his fundamental reason why. At least that's how he explains it, as to why he wanted to become a psychologist. It's deeper than that, though. See, because if he didn't have anyone to talk to, that his daddy wasn't there, and his daddy wasn't there. That's the real trauma. Yeah. And then I think his mama was abusive to him too. I think his mama was mean to him, but I also think that she made him feel special, and then at times did too much for him. And because his daddy wasn't around, he became a mama's boy. But then he has all this resentment towards his mama, and he got resentment towards his daddy. So now in 2026, his mama's just a possession. That's his get back. I'm in control of all. I'm in control of her. I ain't gonna let nobody see her. I'm in control of her household. I'm in control, and I'm living off of her in Section 8 housing. I'm in control of her finances. That's just get back for Umar. So I think that Umar, he goes into psychology not because he wanted to help people, but because he recognized that he had some problems, some serious mental health issues, and he wanted to figure out what was going on. I don't think he's rectified any of it. I think it's gotten worse and worse and worse. That's what I think. Right? So when he starts talking like this about the predator and the pimp and all these other things, he's actually talking about himself. I actually think that that's a form of therapy for Umar. That's why he does a lot of projecting. It's like pseudo therapy for this guy. Right? Thanks, James. YouTube5 says his analysis is on point because he's describing Umar Johnson. Wow, yeah, he is. He's perfect. And again, the first time I heard him mention this, because he talks about the women too, like the 5 or 6 types, but he's talking about the 6 men. And it's not just that. He also talks about these different mental health diagnoses. And as he's talking about them, he's actually talking about himself. It's really, really deep. And he knows it. See, whether he knows it consciously or subconsciously, he knows that he has these issues. He knows that he's talking about himself. And when I say these issues, I'm talking about these mental health disorders, because he has these specific mental health disorders that he describes in those earlier Umar Johnson videos. He don't talk about them these days. Okay, ADHD was one of them, but there's other things. I can't even remember. Archetypal something like that, or personality disorder. This is different things. Some of those I never heard of, and I went and I researched them. But then later, as I've gone further into Umar, I realized, wait a minute, he's actually talking about himself, because you can look at his behavior and cross. No, that's why he's talking about that. That's why he's talking. And then in this case, he's talking about the predator. He's talking about the pimp. He's talking about the couch potato, which is the mama's boy, et cetera, et cetera. He's talking about himself. Yeah. Thank you, Javon. JCSU says, when he said the room you bad women. Oh, when he said the room you bad women get paddled in, this is a school, not your fantasy. Well, it is his fantasy. I don't mean to laugh. See, it's supposed to be a school for black boys, but his fantasy, it's like a freak off type of situation. And I'm going to go here. We're all adults. Let me just explain this to people. I'll be real brief because I don't want to be graphic. How Umar sees FDMG, it's like a sex cult type of thing. Oh my goodness, I hate to even be talking like this, but it's like a sex cult. The children's relevance has to do with the children's mothers, because he often frames his interactions with these children as if their fathers are not around. Follow me on this. So that's why his target demographic it happens to be single Black mothers. So a lot of his rhetoric, it caters to or placates to single Black mothers. He goes in on them too, because that's what abusers do. They'll say nice shit, but then they tear you down and they do some nice shit. Then they tear you down and give you some flowers. But understand his main target demographic is single Black mothers. It's not about the kids. The kids are just something that he can control and then lure. And I'm not saying directly control, but in terms of his narrative, control a narrative where he's going to be the one that is going to be taking care of these children and now these Black boys who don't have their daddies, and he's going to be the one to step in to take care of them. And that's what these single mothers are looking for, because it preys upon their fears about their sons not having proper guidance from Black men and not having father figures, and they're getting caught up in the criminal justice system and the school to prison pipeline, blah, 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 blah. That's what this is. So it's not about the boys per se, or even back in the day, the boys and the girls. It's about the boys, the idea of the boys, mothers having these fears, and Umar being the savior figure that comes to save the day, not for altruistic reasons, meaning that he's coming to save the day because he loves and he cares and this type of thing. No, he's coming to save the day so that he can have access to these single Black mothers, and have access to these single Black mothers, not to help them, but to sexually exploit them and to financially exploit them. That's what this FDMG shit comes down to. It's that simple. I mean, it's kind of complex, but it's nothing deep. So therefore, FDMG, the idea of FDMG is really about having let's go even deeper. The idea of FDMG, a brick and mortar, because he could have just went virtual. Brick and mortar, what that becomes is with the children are the Lord to bring the mothers, and so the mothers can come and he can have them and he can paddle their asses and all this other freaky shit that he wants to get into, because now it becomes the FDMG sex cult. That's all this is. Diabolical. So this paddle talk, that's what this is about. He's brought up the paddling at least 5 times. He was talking about paddling back in 2020. Paddling the women. And then he says, what? Stroke. Okay, we know what that is. Then he be saying shit like, y'all ain't gonna me to me. We're gonna have cameras here. Okay, why are you thinking like that? If you professional and you on the up and up, why are you thinking like that anyway? Well, because he already know what the deal is. And his mind is twisted, sexually perverted mind. These buildings is the kicking spot for him to go and then get them skins with all of these women whose children are enrolled. See, that's why one time he was talking about something, and y'all remember this, hit the one. He was talking about a room for the parents when they come, and they can come, and if they've had a hard day, you can come and kick back. And what the fuck are you talking about? You can come and kick. What you talking? After school hours? You turning this shit into what, a Black conscious brothel? That's what it sounds like to me, because his main target demographic is single Black women. He ain't talking about no married couples or nothing like that. He'll throw that in there to make it sound nice, but in essence, that's what he wants, to have these women up there and running through these women inside these mold-infested buildings. That's diabolical. And people still sending this clown money. You guys, boy, I tell you, you Umar Johnson followers at this point, y'all goofy. Y'all stupid like Umar. He done played you all like a fiddle. Sending this clown money. This is all about his sexual fantasy. Oh, he has a dream. His dream is to open up a school for Black boys. Oh, we got to support. We have to send. No. It's not a dream. It's a sexual fantasy. It got to do with these women's cookies. The hot fudge and the pina colada. See that? All right. Anyway, you're right. Thanks, J Civic. Your kid will see says he's actually describing the 4 wives. Listen, I'm telling you, Umar is the ultimate projector. He projects, like he tells on himself. But see, the thing is that if you do enough research and then you know enough about Umar, you can start putting the pieces together, because he tells on himself all the time. He's describing what he wants. He's describing what his desires are. It's a fantasy in his mind. The 2 wives is a fantasy. And he wants them in the bed 2 together. That's what he wants. He get on the show and said, I don't want that. No, that's what he wants. He wants 3, 4 of them in there if he can get them. He's sexually perverted. And listen, if people are into that, you're into that. But the point I'm making is that if you're into that, you ain't got you ain't got no fucking business being around anybody else's kids. Because if that's how you get down, and then you talking about doing this palling shit inside the school and all this, you ain't got no business being around no kids. Because you shouldn't be talking like that inside of the school, so-called school in the first place. He said that the little girls got rotten cookies when he's in the school. There's a little boy right there standing next to him. The rotten vajayjays, that's what he's talking about. You all think he has some business being around somebody's kids, a nasty P. Diddy freaky shit, talking about he can look forward to the boys staying over, spending the night. What you talking about spending the night? It's supposed to be a school. What you talking about? He said we're gonna lock them in. Black boy lock in. I can play the video. It's in the first documentary. Black boy lock in, and we're gonna turn the lights off and play capture the flag. I don't know what you talking about. But that don't sound right to me. And then he talk about the boys gonna dress, they're gonna feed the boys, they're gonna dress in suits. This is all grooming. And then they're gonna come at the nighttime to the school, and they're gonna cuddle by the fire. He's gonna cuddle with the boys. Anyway, we're gonna leave that right there. That's what I'm saying. You Umar Johnson followers, y'all need to really start thinking about this stuff, and you need to think about it quick. See, the good thing is he ain't gonna never open up a school, so it really doesn't matter. But the idea, that's why I think historically speaking, me covering Umar is important, because historically speaking, this is a reference point. Umar's a reference point. You have someone who's a sexual deviant, but somehow he's been able to manipulate the black community to such a degree. The black community giving him about $3 million, got to be around $3 million. And then there's still black people defending him with all of this sexual debauchery that he's into, and that comes out of his mouth, and he can't even stop himself. Not to mention he's a dope fiend and a baby mama creator don't take care of his kids, living off his mama at the age of 51. Ain't got a pot to piss in. You Umar Johnson followers, y'all the case study. Umar is too, but y'all the case study. Anyway, let me stop. Y'all got me riled up. Did he finish with this foolishness? Let me see.
Who either of those types, male or female, out there, who may need, how would they be able to get help to kind of change those type of ways that are destroying the quality of relationships?
Well, number one, getting psychotherapy for relationship issues is not a bad problem. What we find in therapy is that a lot of times people are not successful in their relationships with other people is because they don't first have a relationship with themselves. And so in order to have a happy and healthy romantic attachment with another person, you got to have a happy and healthy attachment to yourself. And many of us don't like ourselves, and we're trying to find somebody else who will like us because we don't like ourselves. So first you have to work on you.
Yeah, we got to come back to this, y'all. He actually sounds like Cheyenne Bryant right here, because both of them are shallow with their analyses. They're shallow. They don't know nothing about no relationships whatsoever. Just be running their mouth. All right, we're gonna have to come back, because I want to do a series on all those videos, because it's boy, I'm telling you, it's interesting. It is so interesting. Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, Umar, he's so shallow with things. You know, it's just he just be running his mouth, but he don't have. Anyway, I'm gonna leave right there. Okay, so actually, we need to start winding this down. My goodness gracious, it went by quick. The poll question is: are you surprised that Umar Johnson has had the FDMG Bandos for over 7 years and no child has been educated? 12% said yes, 88% said no. And our goal for likes was 400. We are at 375. So 25 more likes to get to 400. So if you're enjoying the show, or if you have enjoyed the show, you may not be enjoying it now. But if at any point you were, go on and hit that like button and see if we can get to that 400 mark. Okay, I'd appreciate it. It helps to get these videos out into the algorithm. Umar's not trending in the algorithm. So this happened back in January, because I take note of these types of things. Okay, so I'm going to focus specifically on these the mold situation, so that we can get through all this, so we don't have to carry it over to tomorrow. James says Umar go from woman to woman because he's looking for himself. That could be part of it too. That could be part of it. Yeah. He doesn't like himself either, but it is possible that he's just looking for himself. You know, maybe he's trying to look for something, I don't know, feminine to identify with. And I don't mean to go there, but it is quite possible. It really is. You know, I've said this before, that just because a man is a sexual deviant and is living a sexually promiscuous lifestyle does not mean, and I'm talking about, and he's sexually exploiting black women, does not mean that he likes women. It doesn't mean that at all. Okay, so people, please don't get that twisted. But with Umar, how he talks, he doesn't like women. I can tell that. I can just tell. He don't like women. But so maybe he's looking for something else. And clearly it's not about commitment. It's not about some sort of connection, because he's thoroughly disconnected from all human beings. Okay? He's so self-absorbed. So it's not about that. There's something else that drives Umar to have these levels of lust, and then to sexually exploit these black women all over the planet with the bumpity bump on his lip. Anyway, we're gonna leave that alone. Thank you, James. Okay, let me get to these other ones, and we're gonna get back to the main video. Goddess says, is Umar Johnson related to Fleece Johnson? Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay, all right. Thank you for the super chat, Goddess Noel. Goddess Princess says, it's very, very important to replay these videos, and then people don't know how gross this guy is. I agree. And that's the thing. There's a lot. See, if you guys go back to early Umar, it was there, but he was able to I don't know what the word is. It's deeper than hide, but he's able to hide these levels of sexual deviancy earlier on. I think that's one of the reasons why he was able to kind of run through a gang of women, especially in those early days after the Hidden Colors blew him, because that's really what put Umar on, was the Hidden Colors series. But I have a sense that earlier on he was able to hold it and not present it publicly. See, he was still involved with this type of stuff like behind the scenes, but in terms of verbalizing it publicly, I think he was able to manage that better, to where he wasn't talking about it like that. But then at a certain point, you start to see Umar transition, wherein he can't keep him, because he gets so deep into this level of sexual dysfunction that he has to talk about it. And then it's subtle at first, but then it's all of a sudden now it's cookies this all the time, talking about cookies. It was always there. It's just for whatever reason, maybe the arrogance, he feels comfortable now and confident that he can talk like this and act like this, and people ain't going to G-check him or whatever, and his followers are going to follow him anyway, regardless. So he's going to do what he's going to. Maybe that's it. I think that's part of it, but I also think that part of it is that his mental aptitude is not what it used to be, that he's become more and more unhinged and more batshit crazy, to where he doesn't have the mental capacity and mental discipline to keep this shit in check, which is actually a good thing, because people can see who he really is. But that's what I mean. It's important to replay these videos. And some of these, the video I showed earlier, I haven't watched the whole thing. It's just I ran across it and I skipped through, because I was like, what is he talking about here? And I got to that, I said, yeah, this right here, he's talked about this before. He's actually talking about himself. See, people need to see that, because it's not me saying this about Umar. It's Umar saying that about Umar. It's always been there. Okay. It's just now when we look at Umar, he's in a totally different space. If we go back then, look.
Not happy. You can't have a happy relationship. You're going to pollute that relationship with your own individual psychological poison. And I
say, wow, deep. And then look at him in 2023. It's like 11 years later. You see that? Now we age. Yeah, we age. I age. We all age. But there's something
I
else
think
going
sometimes
on
we go into
when you go from this to this in 10 years. All right. Thank you guys, little princess. Okay, we're gonna start winding this down now. We're doing good on time, but I was planning on having a short show. It always go out anyway. So we were watching this video. We're looking at the floor, and you can look at the floor right there. You can see they're starting to build up again, the white dust mold. Here's another video from that same period, that same day.
You see over there? It's 4 times the size of this here. They high school. That high school.
Yeah, see all that mold over there now in 2023? The other video I showed, you don't see that there, but it's all over there now on those steps and all over the building too. You can see it grow. It just keeps going. Okay, so I'll let this play.
Go in and go.
Yeah, so this is when he had the white contractors in here doing work. And so what we're going to be looking for is any of that dust, like that white dust on things. I didn't see any mold in those. Yeah, so you can see it there. So he shouldn't be touching on that. There's another room. You can kind of see some on that desk. Yeah, and in all fairness, some of this could be dust too, but we're just looking specifically for if we can tell for the mold.
Okay.
And actually, it's a form of mildew, but mildew is a form of mold.
I got you. Okay. All done? Yeah. Did you need to bleed it like you said to get the water out?
Yeah, I got my hand all wet, freezing.
Okay, so it's done.
Yeah, so everything's good. Yeah,
Okay.
so I just left it open.
Okay.
So yeah, in the summertime, when you turn it back on, it'll just.
Oh, let me skip through just so we can save some time. And that's Maria. We never gave this guy a name.
Room, and the third one is probably going to be the library. But these 3 are going to be more multi-purpose, not instructional. Instructional.
Yeah, interesting enough, he still doesn't know in 2023 what these rooms are going to be used for. That's crazy. Over 4 years later, and he still doesn't know.
It's going to be the long hallway because we don't want the kids so close to the front. Right. So let's say you're a parent, you picking your kid up, but you got 2 hours, you just want to chill. We have the TV in here, refrigerator with some water, a nice couch. You know, parent visitor center. So.
Yeah, all of that insulation too. Someone had talked about that. All this insulation has to be taken out too because it would be infested with mold spores as well. It's a serious problem. This is a multi-million-dollar renovation project.
I want it to be a little different than what you see at the regular schools. You feel me?
You're a lot different.
Yeah.
This is so interesting to see this being built from scratch.
It wasn't built from scratch. These buildings been around for a long time. Y'all gonna ask Francisca about that. She's done extensive research. Yeah, I think that could be too, but I don't want to say that that's dust. Looks like, yeah, on these chairs you can see. Let's just skip through. This right here is though on these bookshelves. Yeah, you can see it's white. Okay, that's not dust. This has been in there for a long time. He's moved it in different places, but this right here, that's not dust. That's white. That's the mold, the powder mold, white powder
Exit
mold.
on the side. So I figured nobody can get past me. You
Same thing in here.
see what I'm saying? Yes. So I was thinking about, and plus it was kind of loud in the hallway.
Yeah, that's probably dust though right there on that.
I did want my office a little larger, but I can live with it. For sure.
Honestly, my personal.
Umar don't want to hear nothing about what you got to say. If you look down on the floor here, this is you see these tiles that are uprooted. That's water damage that's caused that. So there was some sort of a water intrusion issue in this hallway. You guys see that down on the floor? Yeah, I peeped that a long time ago. I don't know if it was from the ceiling. I mean, it could have been from the window or something like that. It's likely that it's from the ceiling because if you look up there, there's panels and then you can see water discoloration up there in those panels. If y'all see that, hit the 1. Yeah, so this is 2023. Yeah, it's in the bathroom though. I remember seeing it in here.
This is male bathroom right there. Water fountain. But you know, we probably gonna get water brought in. Girls' bathroom.
What? We probably gonna get water brought in.
We gotta get the doors fixed because they broke, you know.
We clowned him on this door and then he got it fixed shortly after. Anybody remember that at the two?
Computer room.
Oh, a lady said play the, okay, yeah, I'll play it for you. You want the Uncle Nancy theme song? Okay.
Now you see the offices, the classrooms are kind of large.
Yeah, now it's a mess in here. You know, I want to give Umar the benefit of the doubt and say that this is dust here, but I don't know what's going on. This is diabolical. Even if it's just dust, it's still a problem. Okay, but what tends to happen, what happens with the mold, the white mold dust, is that it will grow on like laminates and organic material like wood and stuff, and it'll cling to surfaces and grow. So, I mean, this could all be part of it too. I'm not quite sure. But air quality is definitely a problem. There you go in there too. Yeah, he shouldn't even have people up in here. Look over here. There's another desk. Look like he got some Twizzlers up there. Oh boy, this is diabolical. He always got desks sitting on their side. What is it with Umar with that?
Partner with some other kind of activity. If I did use a classroom, like what would be something that wouldn't really
broadcasting, podcasting?
Yeah, they were going to build a like a music studio podcast thing inside of here. I think that's why they were visiting. Clearly, that it didn't happen because he always saying he's going to do something. Are those blueprints? No, those look like maps of something. Yeah, Umar never showed the blueprints. Yeah, you can see it in here too. Look at that. All right, I'll let it play for the rest. I'm gonna pull up the next video.
What's down here? What's down here?
Oh, that's the data room.
No, it's not a data room, Umar.
For what?
You don't stop.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, you need that's what everything is gonna be at anyway for like communications devices and.
Could that be the engineering and the nurse station be the booth?
No.
Why not?
I think it's possible because the wires can run up top.
For what? In here?
So let's just say this is the engineering control room.
Yeah, see that you see all the cat cables. This is like a server room right here. That's what Umar calls it a data. He don't know what he's talking about. And I'm going to tell you guys something. The amount of work that needs to go into the IT infrastructure, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, he doesn't have the equipment in the first place, but in terms of upgrading all this, it's possible that they weren't even on fiber going back, a decade, 12 years ago when the Umar Academy was open. So that's going to be another issue that's going to need to be resolved. All of this cat cable and all these other cables that are running through the server room, all that's going to have to be taken out, and then they're going to have to go back in there, and then I doubt that they would, because this cat cable could be defunct by now, not defunct, but outdated, and they're going to have to rewire everything. Okay, they have to install a backbone, and that we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's not just for this room; it's for this whole building. And then also there has to be internet access point so that children, while they're in school, let's say if they're inside of the gym, they're going to have access points over there too. This is a disaster, and Umar has no clue. This guy don't even know what IT is, let alone what this room is about. This is one of the most important aspects of any school building, is what should be inside this room, and he hasn't resolved that yet. He has no clue. Talking about they're ready to decorate. What you talking about? What you need to do is call that ISP and get that bandwidth, homeboy, because you're gonna need some. I mean, it's possible, because again, I don't know what cat cable, because I don't know, but I know one thing: the Umar Academy. When did it close? Listen, I highly doubt that any of this is updated. No, I know it's not. I already know it's not. The Moyer Academy closed in 2015. So whatever was in here goes back to 2000, at least 2015. So if they open for the second time in 2012, what's in here could be from 2012. They closed for the first time in 2010. What's in here could be from 2010. I doubt that, but it's possible. You see? So Umar has no idea. That's why even him purchasing, you see, because what Umar could have, let me stop because I go on. This I'm telling you, the IT aspect is really, it's frustrating because even if he rented out a space, instead of purchasing these trap banners for $400,000, he could have taken that $400,000, rented a space that has IT already in it, and just go into contract with the ISP, and then he'll get whatever equipment that's needed, laptops, Chromebooks, what have you, and just do it that way. And when he goes into the contract with ISP, it's going to be updated. The infrastructure is going to be there. The bandwidth, the necessary, is going to be there. Or if he has to get higher bandwidth, he would just pay for that. This guy settles on this in 2019. It's nuts. No, it is. It's really frustrating to me. He has no idea. Yeah, you can still get away with 5. Yeah, you're right. You can get away with that. Yeah, I get a gigabyte. I think it's 1.2 gigabytes to the box. And I don't know what cat. I know I ain't using no old cat though. What am I? Y'all like, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, what are you guys talking about, cat? Anyway, we'll leave it right there. No, ain't no telling. So let real quick, just as an exercise, let's say that it closed in 2015. We really should be going when it opened, though. Yeah, so Cat 5e, yeah, 2015 was common, but let's go back to 2012. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, that's still acceptable. Let's go back to when it was it's acceptable for then. Let's go back to 2000 when it opened or closes for the first time in 2010. I already know that's going to be a problem. Yeah, it's still 2000 Cat 5. And then when they opened for the first time, that was 2006, I believe. Let's look at 2006. It was still common, a Cat 5e. Yeah, but by now he's going to have to upgrade all of that. Okay, it's not going to be functional for 2020, especially in a school setting. Anyway, we can go on and on about this. I don't really like talking about the IT stuff because it makes me really frustrated. It really does. Okay, that school needs several terabytes just to function for a school setting. Yeah, again, it would depend on how many. It's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess. See, that alone, Umar has no idea. The internet bill per month, he has no idea because the amount of bandwidth that's going to be required, and you're going to have to go into contract. It's not like you can call Xfinity or whatever is out there and be like, hey, listen, I want to get this. No, they're going to have to go into a contract with the ISP. Anyway, it's a mess. Okay, let's start winding this down. Jay Civic says they don't understand they are feeding the devil. Yeah, well, I've been telling people. That's why when people have Umar on their platforms and they're sitting in it, sometimes they have him in their home and they sit there and say, you all don't know who you sit next to. Shouldn't even have him up in your space. Okay, thanks, Jay Civic. All right, so let's look through. So that's 2023. I got a couple for 2024. Some of these you guys are going to remember. This is one of his paint days. And I'm just going to skip through. We'll be done in about 5 minutes here. Yeah, so those desks are still in there, still dusty. I mean, that could be, it could be powder mode, white powder mode. Yeah, he was tripping in this video. Yeah, even them paint, another thing real quick, even them painting in here with no ventilation, no HVAC, and no mask, that's problematic too. Y'all know what I mean? I don't know why he painted this room this color. That's crazy. He ain't got no sense. Let me let this play a little bit.
There's going to be a third paint day in about 2 weeks, family. There's going to be a third paint day in about 2 weeks.
He always got
coming
paint
to the
days
final
going
paint
on.
day. The third and final paint day. I'm not paying nothing, Negro. This is volunteer. This is revolution work. Ain't nobody paying your lazy ass to come help get a school ready for our children. Ain't nobody paying your lazy ass to come get a school ready for our children. Ain't nobody paying your lazy ass to come get a school ready for our children.
Yeah, you see how abusive he is? So that's what I'm saying. If he behaves like this online, how do y'all think he behaves offline? Yeah, James and salute James. James says, "Do you think the Bandos still have tax exempt status?" So does we're really how we should phrase this is does yeah, I guess we can call it a corporation. Does a corporation that Umar Johnson established, as we know it to be FDMG, does that still have tax exempt status? At this point, yes. However, there is no record of Umar filing with the IRS taxes for the year 2025. Because normally that would be public record by now. I should go look it up and go see. Because it may be out. Matter of fact, while we're here, I'll go look it up. On the last time I checked, which was probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago, it wasn't available. So what I'm saying is that if Umar didn't file last year and then he doesn't file in this year, and then we get into 2027, it doesn't have to be a full year to where it's exactly 3 years. It have to be 3 successive years where he doesn't file. Then they would revoke his nonprofit status like they did back in 2017. We'll have to wait and see. But while we're here, I'm going to go look. I'll go look and see. But to the best of my knowledge, as of right now, no, he still has tax exempt status. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go look right quick.
Where your mama at, Negro? Where your mama at? Where your mama at? Where she at? Looking for a convenient revolution. Ain't no convenient revolution. Ogun green. This ain't Ogun green. This Orumila green. I'm painting my office Ogun green. I'm painting my office Ogun green. I'm not hostile, I'm passionate. Don't confuse it. I'm not hostile, I'm passionate. Don't confuse it. I'm not hostile. Ladies, I need somebody to come take the green out my hair. I need somebody to come take
there you go.
The green out my hair. Any ladies around? Delaware Queens, I need somebody to take the green out my hair. Pennsylvania Queens. What's up? Huh? I'll check it when I get off my live.
Okay, yeah, it's not listing 2025. It still lists 2024. And for 2024, Umar reported that he raised $84,506. And in 2023, he reported that he raised $204,822. There was someone again that they were saying that, well, anyway, I ain't gonna get into that. Well, they ain't done their research. Yeah, just for the year, and this is just what he's reporting. I'll propose that he's raised way more than this, but this is what he's reporting to the IRS because he's criminal minded. So for 2023 and 2024, Umar Johnson raised about $290,000 right there. But nothing has populated for 2025. I'll keep checking. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, we got 3 more videos and we'll skip through. Here we go. Yeah, he look bad in this one. Yeah, let me skip through. Okay, he goes outside. Anyway, let's just keep going. He still got them same. What? Let me stop. Let me stop.
See, how you doing, everybody?
Oh yeah, yeah. I can't remember which brother went and went through it, but they were showing the different areas, and yeah, the mode is off the chain. Yeah, what's his name went back here and said it smelled like a dead dog. Man, that's one of them OG cars right there. Got the rims on it. Oh yeah, this is Reverend Jerry Juice. He live up over there. He said one time he saw Umar out there brushing his teeth. Anyway.
The Prince of Pan Africanism, Dr. Umar Tunde. We tapping in with everybody. We going live on a Diddy situation. Do you believe Sean Puffy Combs?
All right. Anyway, this is more like a yeah. Anyway, you can see behind it, boy, he was. Look at his eyes. Anyway, let me. We're almost done.
This is the Prince of Pan Africanism, Dr. Umar. You tapping in or not?
Hey, how you doing, Dr.
All
Omar?
right, Queen.
How you doing today?
All right. Face that, Queen BB.
You said what?
Where you city? Where you at?
Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism.
Okay, this is from 2025.
Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan.
We'll just skip through. I don't know why he painted that looking like that. That's crazy. Yeah, still those desks. You can see this has been wiped off now, but back behind him right there, those shelves, back in 2025, but he's been in there since, and that white mold stuff is back up on there. Yeah, desk still, same thing. Yeah, I don't even see how he can.
6 years of hell. Yes, the water working, brothers and sisters. Everything's working at the Frederick Douglass. We got central air. We got central air.
No, he doesn't. Those HVAC units are not work. That HVAC unit is not working, and that's why when Umar be in there, he be sweating. And that's why the mold grows, is because the humidity gets really, really high in those buildings. This building and also the gym. So that humidity goes way up, and then that's a breeding ground for mold. It takes root and it just grows.
The air is on right now, brothers and sisters.
He be lying.
The central air. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. The time has come for my donors to get what they paid for. A fully functioning, operating, and open school. Oh, yes.
This is April of 2025.
Hit the PayPal. Hit the PayPal, Africans. I want to thank my continental Africans for donating.
All right, skip through. Yeah, he's just talking like this because he needs donations. Yeah, it's amazing. I wonder if he ever gets tired of this. He looked like he's tweaking right here.
Oh, yes.
Is he tweaking?
Oh, yes. And when we have weekend events, I need a weekend chef, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Why is he looking like that? He look like he's seeing things. Look at him. In the world.
This is the main office. This is where the secretary's going to be at.
This
is the main office. We got me sisters with secretary skills. Where them secretary queens at? Lord have mercy. Where them secretary queens at? Who gonna decorate my office? I need some queens to decorate my office. I need a nice soft couch. When I do my life coaching sessions, a nice soft couch. Y'all better find somewhere to live near FDMG, because once we open up, I'm the #1 scholar, and this will be the #1 center. I'm the #1 scholar, and this will be the #1 center. This is my office. This is Dr. Umar's office.
Oh, thank you. Well, I don't want to say who it is, but you know who you are. Someone sent me a Cash App. Thank you so much. I never really promote my Cash App, but I do have that information on the description of these videos. Thank you so much for that. Very kind. You guys are the best. Thank you guys so much. Okay, let's finish this up. Here we go.
I need a couch. I need a tank for my, I'm getting me a snake. I'm getting me another snake. I'm going to have a snake in here. My Ogun pot.
Your Ogun pot. But you see, this is what I mean by arrested development. He says another one. So Umar has a snake too somewhere and in my mama closet. But that's what I'm saying. For him to be at this time, he's 40, he's 50. And that's what he's thinking about. I'm going to get another snake. That's what I'm saying. He's a state of arrested development. You know, my son, he wanted a millipede for his birthday. So I got him one. Okay, but Umar, you're 50. Why would if you already have a snake, if you want to get snakes, that's fine. But if you already have one, you should be fine with that. You shouldn't be spending no more money on another snake because that money should be going towards these trap bandos. So you Umar Johnson donors, okay, you're paying for his snakes too.
My Ogun pot, my desk. This is my office, ladies. This is my office. Do not get fresh with the prince.
Here he go.
Consciousness over the cookies. Politics over the punani. Revolution over romance. Institutions over. This is going to be my conference room.
I remember one time he said business before back shots. And then we clowned him on it and called him out on it. And he stopped using that.
This is my conference room in my office. So if you need to have a private conference, oh, yes. Yes, brothers and sisters.
See how he's saying private? That's all about sex. What in the... See, he has a problem. I don't know if it's his hip or his knee, but he has extreme pain. Even when he did the video, the school promo video back in 2019, when he takes a seat, I'm about to show you guys what I mean, because I always was wondering what that was about. I figured it out many years later. But this is one of his, he has some sort of physical, something going on. I don't know what it is exactly. So if we go back to 2019 and this video right here. Okay, so. Okay, I'll mute the audio, but you guys remember this. But there's a part where he actually sits down. Yeah, right here. And look at his face when he gets to the seating position or close to one. See him? Yeah. So I'm thinking he is something going on with his hip. I mean, it could be his foot. It could be his knee, but I'm actually thinking it's his hip. This is why we've been talking about this. Like even the timeline on all of this. He's nowhere close to opening up a school, and the notion that he's going to run a fully functional school with all these kids and with everything he's promised that he was going to do, take them to Africa and teach them how to float ships and fly helicopters and a dirt bike team and all these conferences, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. By the time he gets this open, he's going to be in his 60s. There's no way. Yeah, you're right, 4-4 Roddy. It could be sciatica because I actually had that in my leg one time or a couple of times, and it was bad. See that? He's in pain. And there's quite a few videos throughout the years where I've seen this with him. And then he has some relief, you know? So that's why when he picks up this ball, he has that issue and he kind of screams, but it's because he's in pain. I can't say it. It is what it is.
Yes, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. Yes, brothers and sisters. Yes, brothers and sisters. The time is now, brothers and sisters. The time is now. FDMG. FDMG.
Man, this is so much foolishness, this guy. No self-awareness whatsoever. All right, just two more.
Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace.
All right, you can really see it here. Look.
Peace and Pan Africanism. Peace and Pan Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr. Umar Ifat.
See, he can wipe this off and it's going to come right back.
Tunde Ogun Tade. We trying to get these colors right for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey RBG.
Okay, you guys see that? That's not dust. See how it's white? That's white mold. And this is from last year. Yep, about a year ago.
Got to get the flooring right. Yes, brothers and sisters.
It almost looks like chalk.
The
Yeah, that it's really bad.
accounts
Here.
might
Look at that.
be frozen, but we are chosen and we must continue. The accounts might be chosen. The accounts might be frozen, but we are chosen. We must continue with the mission.
Yeah,
rain,
this is bad. He
sleet,
shouldn't be up in there.
snow, or
Look at that. See, back in the day, I was always wondering why that would always appear. And then there'll be videos where you can tell that he wiped it down or someone wiped it down. And then, months later or the following year, it'll be back. These buildings are toxic. And this is inside of the small, what he calls a small school. The small gym has it even more. I mean, it's infested. I don't know what it is like on the other side of the street, though, because he hasn't really shown that over the years, because he hasn't done anything over there. That's a waste of money, too. Okay, then here's the last one. We'll just skip through. Okay, so now he's in the gym. Many of you guys remember this video. This gym used to be cleared out, and the floor was buffed, real shiny, but you can look at it now, that white powdery substance is back. Y'all see it? Okay, that's mold. And if he didn't do anything in here and just left this for, like, let's say a year or two, it'll return to look like it looked back in 2019. It'll go right back to that.
Africans, the Africans in Asia, Australia, the South Pacific, peace and Pan Africanism to my Texas Africans, my Louisiana, my Jersey, New York, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, the Dakotas, Seattle, New Mexico, Dallas, Houston, ATL, Savannah, Nashville, Knoxville, St. Louis, my Philadelphia, my Harrisburg, you feel me? My York, my Chambersburg Africans, my Cheltenham, my Derby, my Yeadon, my Chester Africans. It's your big brother King Kong consciousness. Brothers, we are not at the swap meet, my brother. We had to take all the furniture out of the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey Elementary School and bring it into the gym as we renovate the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, the right excellent most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey Elementary School. We getting ready, brothers and sisters. That's all we doing. We getting ready, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. We getting ready, brothers and sisters. That's all we doing. We out here working.
Okay, so real quick, you guys can see how that white film is returning the mold. This is years after he buffed the floor, but I want to go back and show you when Umar first went back in there in 2000, not the first time, but he took people up in there and it's recorded when he goes back in there back in 2019, and this is egregious. Watch this, and then we'll be done.
Big gym, and we have this.
So it's 3 buildings?
4 buildings.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go into the 4th one. It's just an empty space. We got it voted for now.
Okay. What's the roofs like? Are the roofs intact here? Because they're flat roofs.
They need some work.
They're all flat. That makes it a little bit difficult.
They need a little bit of work.
Okay. Oh, don't film that. Turn it around.
Y'all can come on in.
Okay.
I would like to get your opinion on this building. Should I keep it a gym so we have a backup gym? Or do I turn this into the Dr. Papa Conscious Cafe and Bookstore?
Where's the auditorium?
We don't have an auditorium.
So this can be it. This could be like.
I'm sorry. Anyway, but if you guys look, this is infested in here, and there's black mold in here too. But this is when I saw this video more recently, I said, "Oh my goodness, he shouldn't have been in there." And he let this little boy go up in there, and these women shouldn't have been up in there either. These buildings are biohazards.
Conscious Cafe and Bookstore.
somebody, Sweet D called her Moana because she moaning. Yeah, so you mean, just be clear, If you want to get that woman, your woman to that level, you just take her into a moldy abandoned gym. I wish I'd have known that decades ago. Because we want them to get there too. Okay, sometimes y'all be taking too long. We ain't got time for that. Don't blame it on us. We ain't built for all that. You better hurry. Don't get us wrong, sisters. We want you to get there too. But if you don't, that's on you. Anyway. God made it that way. Don't get mad at us. Okay? Dudes like Stevie Wonder said, you better go have a talk with God on that one because they ain't got nothing to do with us. Hit the one, man. Hit the one. All right. And on that note.
Be who you are.
This message is for you, Big Papa.
Oh, man. All right. Shout out to Uncle Nancy. We had a request for that one. I had to get that one in. That was the perfect timing. All right. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning on
this building. I keep it a gym, so we have a backup.
All right, let me pull up our closeout video. We get up out of here.
Conscious Cafe and Bookstore.
Where's the auditorium?
We don't have an auditorium.
So this
Oh
could be
my God.
This could be like
or the other gym.
I mean, this could be like a place to have meetings. This would be the well. Then again, you need the other room. The other room is bigger. This is nice. Keep that door open. It brings in light. But this is another gym. I guess this could be another gym, but
So, do you think
a drill and training?
advantageous?
Yeah, see, real quick, she's having difficulty breathing too. The reason why is because they're breathing in all of this toxic air. There's no ventilation. There is infested with a mold. That's what that is on the ground. It's called white powder mold. And they're breathing that in. Umar actually starts, it's kind of like a cough. No one should have been in here, but she starts breathing heavy, and it's not because she's hot and bothered, okay?
To have a second gym?
Do you have a theater?
All right, we're gonna leave that. We're gonna end it right there because Monisha's she keeping it going. Somebody told me to put that part, that moan into one of these songs. I don't know which song they was talking about. I may have to do it anyway. It's always something. And the Umar Johnson saga. Okay. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. So we'll call this complete with the whole mold thing. I tried to find videos for 2026, but he really hasn't been up there in 2026, but it's still there. Tomorrow, I'm not sure we're going to get into tomorrow, but we will be live streaming tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so I may even get on here just to chill and hang out. But we will be doing marathons, like mini marathons on Saturday and Sunday. Oh, we got to put together a list. Okay, let's do this real quick. Topics. If you guys have topics or videos that you think would be good for us to cover during the marathon, go ahead and type it inside of the chat room. And then if anyone watches this later, you can type it inside the comment sections, and then I'll compile that on my list between now and tomorrow's live stream. Tomorrow's live stream, I'll represent them to everyone, and then what I'll do is we'll take another count. I'll say, if you guys got any other ones that you guys want to get into our topics, I do want to do because people have been asking for a long time. I want to cover the Tariq Nasheed Umar Johnson rant. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll go through and edit out all of the curse words and all that kind of stuff. But you guys will know what they're saying. We haven't done that yet. I think that would be a great a marathon for that one. Okay, thank you guys. Someone said the SETI right. Yeah, we're definitely going to the UFO. Why are people so interested in the UFO? I mean, Umar tells a story. Let me stop. We're gonna do that one. Okay, we're gonna have to do that one. All right. Oh, create a community post. Okay, I'll do that too. I'll put it on my list right here. So I'll create community posts for video topics. And then I have to write this so I remember on my Word document. So I'll report back to you guys tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. We should have a good weekend. Okay. But I will come on tomorrow. Okay. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. I hope someone's TJ says Umar in the cemetery. Yeah, but there's so many of them. He don't be in there as like he used to, but there is a whole bunch of those. Okay. Thank you guys again for tuning on in. A Zora rant. Yeah, we can do that one for sure. Yeah, we tend to do that one anyway for the marathons. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a couple of other super chats. J Civic says, will the women in the chat please verify that's how you want us to approach you? I can change my ways. Yeah, y'all let us know, okay? Nah, I'm telling you, it's diabolical. The reason why Umar has this fan base of these women is because these are women who are desperate. And you guys know for many years, I've been really, really lenient, and I try not to be critical, and it's to a fault. You know, I've let my guard down on a few occasions, and it's just a lesson I need to learn. Real talk, there's good women, and there's bad women, just like there's good men, there's bad men. I'll propose that the women who follow and support Umar, some of them are just bad, no good women, but some of them, they're just desperate. Okay, so they'll follow Umar, they'll defend Umar, they'll send Umar money, they'll open up them legs for Umar. Listen, it is what it is. But desperation never brings forth anything fruitful. It just doesn't. Even if you're in a desperate situation, if you become desperate, you're going to make the wrong decisions. You're going to make decisions that you're going to regret. So I think that's one of the reasons why these women, some of these women run behind Umar like that. Okay? But it's not because he's doing anything right or because he knows how to treat them or approach them. No, that ain't it at all. It's because they're desperate. And that's the kind of women that Umar want to deal with. And he knows that because he's predatory. That's what predators do, right? Thank you, J Civic. TJ says, can you play the clip with misspelled F? You talking about the picture with the pillow? Yeah, let me pull that up right quick because I already have that archived. So Umar used to sell FDMG pillows back in the day, and I guess he figured he's going to be able to raise enough money, donation money, selling pillows in a parking lot. So this was one of them right here. All right, the return of the FDMG pillows this spring, and this is in 2019, so he had them before. Okay, so probably in 2018, maybe even 2017. But this is the picture that you. Wait, no, that's not it. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. This is the picture that you're referring to, and I'll put it up here. Let's see if people can figure out what's going on here. You guys tell me. So this is from 2017. He was selling these pillows back in 2017. Then he stopped, and then he came back with them in 2019. But if you look at these pillows, I mean, this is one of the things that's consistent with Umar. It's a lack of professionalism and a lack of excellence, and in this case, Black excellence. And if you look at these pillows carefully, you'll see one of them says FDMG, the other one says FMDG. Yeah, look at the spelling. And Umar, not only did he get this picture, but he actually posted this. He got 6 degrees and he posts this. What you saying? Snoopy says that the FMDG, that's the limited edition. Yeah. No, you're right. No, for real. That's what he looks like, Crystal. He looks like one of them people that stand on the corner, be trying to slang anything. The CDs, DVDs. He up here he's in the parking lot trying to sell some pillows. And these pillows, boy, they diabolical. Anyway, thanks, Crystal. Okay, and then there was one from Sir Information Man, if you will. Speak on the psychology of him needing people to do everything for him. It runs deep, especially women. Yeah, I think it's 2 things. I think one is that he's just incompetent. And I've seen him like where he'll go into, when he went to go shop for cleaning supplies, he was lost. He didn't know what to get, where to find it, and he's just kind of roaming around. I think it's a mental health issue. I think it's a psychological issue. I think it's actually tied to him being a hoarder. Now, it just came to mind, and I'm just speculating here, but you know how Umar, in his living conditions, he's a hoarder. Everything is all over the place, and he's comfortable with that. It's actually possible that Umar's uncomfortable when things are placed where they should be. Normal human beings, right? Where things are organized. It may be that he's uncomfortable with that. Before I start the show, I put, because that's how I am. Everything has to be right where it needs to be on my desk before I get started. If stuff is out of place, then I don't feel like I should start yet, you know? And so sometimes, like, there's days where stuff, you know, you get to work week, and then at a certain point, okay, I got to take about 3 or 4 hours just to get things, because, you know, got family running around, all this kind of stuff. And I'll take the time to get things put back in an orderly position before I can actually do anything creative. It may be that Umar, he's so comfortable with things being disorganized that when he's in a situation where things are organized, he's confused. And I know that sounds weird, but it's actually possible, because when you watch him, and when we watched him when he was shopping, he was totally lost. So I think that that's part of it. I think that Umar, he doesn't have the life skills or the coping skills to be able to find things, to be able to look at something that is orderly and select something out of that order, and, you know, for purchase in this case. I just don't think he has that. I think he's totally lost. He's like a child going into the store for the first time. When I go into the store, I know exactly where I'm going, what I'm going to get. I've already memorized it in my mind. I know with all the different aisles. I know which aisle I'm going to be going into, because I don't like wasting time. So I go step by step by step. I don't backtrack, and I get up out of there. Umar, he doesn't have a mind where things are organized like that. So I think that that's part of it. He needs people to do things for him because he's lost. He doesn't know how to get things done, right? He's in a state of arrested development, like a child that hasn't grown up, that hasn't developed life skills. And that's stuff you got to teach your children over time. Some of them get it sooner, some of them get it later. There's a lot of stuff I didn't get until later, right? So that's part of it, in my opinion, information. But I think the other part, though, is the narcissism, where Umar feels as if he's so important. It's a horrible combination. In terms of a personality type, he feels as if he's so important that there are things that are beneath him that he shouldn't have to do. So he expects his followers who are beneath him to do things for him that he should be doing for himself. Okay, cult leaders have that same type of mentality, right? They think their cult followers, they got to give them the money, they got to send them the money, you know, they got to do this for them, you got to do. So Umar, you hear him oftentimes just say, if there's a restaurant in such and such, email or text me and let me know where it's at. No, why doesn't he just go on Google and do it himself? Could he do that? Yeah, I don't think he's that incompetent. He can do that, but his mentality is such with the entitlement and the narcissism that he feels as if he's above all of that, and he expects other people to do that for him. That's why when he has the paint days, he has his loyal donors who pay to come paint. That's their privilege. And Umar, he'll sit back and record them painting, because in his mind, it makes him look like he's the boss. He has everything under control. You know, he's the one in power. He's the dictator. He's not saying that, but that's the optics of it. Okay, so it's a bad combination when you have someone who is incompetent and doesn't know how to do things for himself that a normal adult would know how to do, but then on top of that has a sense of entitlement where they feel as if these things that they should be able to do, it's beneath them, that their minions should do those things for, in this case, for Umar. That's how he thinks. So I think it's those two things, right? And it's a bad combination, because if you have someone who doesn't like to work with people and doesn't like to work with professionals who expect other people to do things for him, and then thinks that this stuff is beneath him, and then is incompetent on top of that, why would anyone expect him to actually open up a school someday? That's why we're 7, and you know this, we're over 7 years into this, and not one black boy's been educated. There's a reason why. Yeah, FDMG ain't coming. I know we say that it is, but it's a joke. Okay, we just joke like that. All right, thank you, Information Man, and salute to you, sir. Okay, appreciate you, much respect. Information Man is one of the individuals, and there's a few from the old days that has been totally fair and supportive of me, even when I've fallen short. So I really, and he's inspired me to get my life turned around. There's a couple other brothers too, and I'm always appreciative and thankful when you tune in. So thank you so much, bro. It's like I was saying, and I think it was East B said it yesterday or day before yesterday. It's going to stick. I'm going to be repeating this, moving into the future. That the Umar Johnson saga is a journey, and it is. When I first started covering Umar consistently, I wasn't where I was at. I'm still not where I was at and I want to be in life. Information man, widely successful, but he had his stuff together way long time ago. Okay. So humbly, I'm still getting to where I want to be. But I've worked hard over the last decade to get where I'm at today. But it is a journey, this Umar Johnson saga. And one of the things I learned early on was Umar Johnson and his trajectory and how his life was getting worse and worse. I noticed early on, getting worse and worse and worse to where he's at today in 2026. Well, I didn't want to go that route. Not that it wasn't that bad, you know, but I didn't want to go that route. And I'd been trying to make changes. I just couldn't figure things out. Information man, there's a couple other people inspired me and seeing them successful professionals. And I said, hey, listen, you know, it can be done. And I've worked really, really hard to get to where I'm at today. So salute to you and all those other people. Black Anonymous is another person from the beginning. Been very fair with me and even with my shortcomings. And you know, I appreciate it. Okay. And then everyone else too on the side of Cook said, you guys are the best. Okay. Thank you, sir. Information man. A lady says, everything at FDMG looks unprofessional and free. Yet there is no professionalism, and there never has been any professionalism. No, is there anything that we can come up with? And we're going to be done in 3 minutes. Is there anything that we can come up with dealing with Umar where we can say emphatically this is professionally done? Okay, a lady's one of the OGs too. Information man, Black Anonymous, we've got OGs in here. Okay, is there anything that we can think of in this Umar Johnson saga that has been done professional? Somebody stop. Somebody said the sacred rock. If you don't stop, I can't think of anything. And I'm always fair. Yeah, look, listen, and people are thinking about it. Every day say, hey, listen, wait, that's a hard one. Yeah, just take a moment. It's not. You guys, if you guys don't stop, what's up, East B? What you said is gonna stick with me too. He said the Umar Johnson saga is a journey. It is short, and it's been wild too. That's why I'm thankful that you guys are along for the journey. No, Joshua, the mural don't count. Cut it out. Yeah. And TJ, I've been following you for years now, and nothing about Umar is done professionally. I can't think of anything. I really can't. The plumbing, no. Well, maybe. I don't know though. I don't think so. He's had some plumbers come through. The vegan sports bar. Yeah, lady. Somebody said Nikes. James says, it's all good, bro. I've been here counting your pockets and arguing with your haters. They was calling me Lenon Booty. What in the world? These people crazy. Ain't nobody worried about all that. Okay. It's like I always say, just keep rising. That's all that matters. We have a good time. We're going to continue to have a good time. Okay. I can't think of nothing. Okay. It ain't nobody up in here been able to think of anything. He's greasy desk. Okay. Yeah. Everyone always talk about that Captain Crunch mural. I can't remember who first called it Captain Crunch, but I was cracking up. Okay. I can't think of nothing. Yeah, he's achieved the longest mold incubation experiment in human history. Yeah, he's professional at phone holding. Okay, yeah, I can't think of nothing. Okay, yeah, that would be nice. We should have a Cook Quartet meet and greet one day. That would be nice. But I'm really like kind of like an introvert. I know I get on here. That's why I enjoy this. Like you guys have really information man. Black Anonymous been around a long time. There's different people who've inspired me to get things in order in my life, but then also the humor, that's been a big thing that's really been developed over these years. And that's why I give credit to Big Man, because he's the one that really opened that up. He don't realize it, but it was wild, okay, when he was around back in the day. He was here earlier this week, so that was really, really cool. But what happens is all that filters into my personal life. So I'm more joyful, and I joke around, especially with my family more, and I have been for years now. Except when I'm at work. When I'm at work, I'm just at work. I ain't got time to people be talking and stuff. I ain't got time for that. And that's how I am. I'm more like laid back in the cut. If anything, I would want to see people have a good time. You know, it's not about me like enjoying myself. I'm one of them kind of people like to host. So like when we have birthday parties, my thing is I'm not trying to enjoy myself. I'm just trying to make sure everyone has what they need. Everyone's enjoying, all the different kids that be coming to the birthday party. Everybody's safe and all that kind of stuff. So if we ever got together, that's how it would be. Yeah, but it would be good time. We would joke a lot and have some fun. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button. Our goal was 400 likes, and we got to 449. Let's see if we get to 450. Okay, I don't want to be greedy. Let's see if we get to 450. Okay, thank you guys again for tuning on in. We will be live streaming tomorrow, and I'll go back through here to see in the chat room to get ideas for topics or videos to cover during the marathon. And then I'm also going to post on my community tab something on there where you can if you have suggestions on videos that we can get into for the marathon on Saturday and Sunday, you can post it there. But we will be live streaming tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys again for tuning on in. Randy says Sponge Daddy. Oh my God, that's the only thing he's professional. All right, let's not even go there. Thank you, Randy, for the super chat. By the way, thanks everyone for all of the super chats. Thanks to the mods for handling the business, and I appreciate all of the support. Someone even sent me a cash app. Thank you for that. I appreciate the support. Okay, you guys have blessed me so much, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all. All right, and as we always do,
you with my message. Thank you, Sister Avanti, $10 coming on the Cash App. Thank you, sister. Next time, make it 20, but thank you for that 10. I know you barely had that. Thank you, sister.
All right, shout out to Black Mario. Next time, make it 20. Scammer Visions is the album, the record they wrote, Bando record.
I appreciate that $10 donation.
Shout out to Sister Bonnie.
But next time,
yeah.
Next
so
time,
sad.
make it
Thanks,
20.
James.
She came up
You so welcome.
smiling after the program was through.
She sure did.
Said, brother, here's $10.
Yeah, let's
I'm
go.
supporting you.
Yeah, good night, Alfredo. Thanks for tuning in.
I looked at the queen and I nodded my head.
What's up, D-Will?
Said, thanks,
Crystal.
sister, then this is what I said.
Next time, make it 20.
Times are hard, I understand. Everybody
All right, have a
doing the
fun
best
day.
they
Thanks,
can,
Amina.
but dreams this
You are so
big
welcome.
take more than hope. We're trying to build, not barely cope. Everybody saying we not fisking flat tires.
Yeah, we ain't with
We're not selling water ices. We build institutions, family.
Thanks, Kilo. Next time, make it 20.
Fisking flat tires.
Thanks, Keylogger.
We not
Enjoy your
selling
evening.
water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time,
thank
make
you.
it 20.
I appreciate you, Francisco.
If the blessings come your way,
You're welcome,
I
sis.
appreciate the 10. But here's what
Look at all
I
these
gotta
dogs. Those
say.
ain't no dogs. It's a gang of
Next
dogs.
time, make it 20. Let the whole congregation see.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
We not fisking flat tires. We building institutions.
Somebody said free the Goonie Goons.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, Wanda. Have a good evening. Hey, go that Umar.
People asking questions every single day. How you gonna build it? How you gonna pay?
Peace, Derek. Thanks to Sean for tuning in. Says,
I say one
thanks, Larry.
donation,
Larry
one
been around
dream
long
at
time.
a time. Everybody
Tina
pitching
Boo.
in to help us climb.
Miss Black Morrow.
This ain't about quick fixes.
Black
This
Morrow,
ain't
Miss
about
Black Morrow.
Little gimmicks, trying to leave something standing tall for the next generation and all. We
If
not
you guys
fisking
don't
flat
stop.
tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions,
Bike boy thug.
family.
All right. Thanks, Black Mario.
We not fisking flat tires.
Yeah, good night, Sonia.
We not selling water ices.
And thank you.
We building institutions, family.
No, I ain't gonna have no water ice. Cut it
If
out.
the blessings come your way, I appreciate the
You're welcome, Bradley.
But here's what I gotta say. Next time, make it 20. Let the whole
those
congregation
boards are awesome.
see. We not fisking flat
she goes. What's
We
her name?
build
Sandra or something like that.
institutions,
She
family.
don't stop.
Institution builders.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Institution builders.
Yeah.
What we doing?
Put that on the list.
What we not doing? We not fisting flat tires.
That's cool.
What else? We not selling
Oh
water.
my
ices.
God. Stop.
One more time. One more time.
Yeah, it really does.
We
Shout out to
building
Black Mario.
institutions, family. Now everybody clap your hands. Left side sing. We not fisting flat tires. Right side sing. Right side sing. Everybody together. We build an institution.
He sure did.
Family.
Gogo be doing good stuff too. We just can't win anymore.
When prosperity comes through.
No, we don't want the toilet video, do we?
Appreciate the tin.
Oh my goodness.
And I appreciate you.
I'll put it on the list.
too, yeah. Next time, make it 20. That's the message for today. We build
Thanks, Naomi.
institutions, family.
Love for us.
And we're doing it all the way. We not fisting flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. We not fisting flat tires. We not selling water ices. We building institutions, family. Next time.
Oh, Vixie, you want to do Pajama Mama tomorrow? Okay. Or on yeah, we can do Pajama Mama over the weekend. We always do Pajama Mama. All right. Shout out to Black Mario. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go back through this chat room to put more ideas on here, and then I'll right after we're done, I'll put it on my timeline, my community tab if people want to add there, and then I'll select stuff. We'll have a good time. Okay, thank you guys again for tuning on. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. If you enjoyed the show and you haven't hit that like button, go and hit that like button real quick before we get up out of here. All right. Again, thanks to everyone who sent in super chats. I appreciate the support as you guys blessed me and my family too, for that matter, tremendously. Okay, and thank you guys for all of the laughs and the joys. Okay, I appreciate it. You guys have enriched my life, and I can't overstate that at all. Okay, I love y'all, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care. Peace.